What is going on, Bills Mafia? You're watching the Bills Breakdown by Chat Sports, presented by PrizePicks, and we are here for the Chat Sports 2026 live NFL mock draft with all 32 Chat Sports NFL YouTube channels. This is going to be a blast. The second year we're doing this, it will be 3 rounds for this mock with your Buffalo Bills selecting at pick 26 and 91. There will be trades going on in this draft. We'll see if the Buffalo Bills end up getting involved in any of those, but I'm excited to hear. The Bills, we know, have a bunch of needs, and I'm not going to lie, starting immediate contributor type of needs at positions like linebacker and interior of the defensive line with this new scheme with Jim Leonhard, the front seven is going to have a little bit of a different look. Also, more talent needed in the wide receiver room. Josh Allen needs more weapons for this Bills team to get over the top, so that's what I'm going to be looking at in this draft, but who knows who's going to be on the board with all these different Chat Sports hosts making their picks. Could be stealing a couple of our top guys. With that being said, all of you Mafia members who are rocking and rolling with us right now, shout out your city as you guys file in. We got 9 beautiful faces rocking and rolling with us right now, and I'm fired up for this Chat Sports mock draft. We were not live last year for the Chat Sports live mock drafts, but I did end up making the selections for the Buffalo Bills. I think I took in round 1 with pick 28. I took Adrian Amos. No, not Adrian Amos. Trey Amos. Adrian Amos is the old safety on the Bears and the Packers. But Trey Amos of the Washington Commanders now, cornerback out of Ole Miss. He had a pretty solid rookie year, but ended up falling in the NFL draft last season. I thought it was a good pick. I think I ended up getting the Bills' Xavier Watts later on. I think he was either late second or third round pick. He was an absolute stud at safety. So I got a decent track record so far in the Chat Sports Live mock draft for your Buffalo Bills, and now we'll get to see it in real time for us today. Let me know where you're watching from down in our live chat here as we're getting ready to roll about 10 minutes out from getting the picks underway. We're going to be having the number 1 overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders, on the clock. Surely it won't take too much time. There will only be 1 selection or 1 minute per selection. So this thing is going to fly pretty quickly. We're going to get these draft graphics that we got prepared for you guys because, you know, it's the best time of the year here at Chat Sports. We're going to get those flying and rolling for you. Shout out your city, where you're watching from. I got my guy Blumpkins. Blumpkins917 in the building saying 716, baby. Let's go, Buffalo. Hey. How's it going, Blump? How's it going? You rocking from the 716? Where at? Where at? You in Erie County? You down below in the southern tier like Catco? Where are you rocking and rolling from today as we get ready for this draft? I threw up a live poll as well for you guys. The biggest draft need for the Buffalo Bills. We got a bunch of votes on it already. Currently in the lead, linebacker with 46%. So I'm assuming that's 6 out of the 13 votes are going to linebacker there, wide receiver with 15%, as well as defensive tackle, and then edge rusher with 23%. So a couple of you guys think the Bills should improve in the pass rush game, which I think they do need to improve upon. But I think that edge is a deep class in this draft. So in my opinion, they could wait until maybe the 3rd round or day three for a pick like that. Especially when you consider like Rousseau and Chubb, they're big money edge rushers. They're going to be starting and playing most of the downs here. So, in my opinion, edge rushers isn't the biggest round 1 priority. But some of you guys think so, and I can't fault you for it because the Bills historically in the playoffs over the last few years have not been able to get to the quarterback at a high enough rate to win these big time games. Go Bills podcast. Oh, he's in East Aurora. Shout out to East Aurora, Open Container City, and a heck of a music festival you guys got going on in the early part of the summer there. Hoping to make it up for that this year. As Go Bills podcast saying roster construction is going to be interesting. Wondering if Bean wants to listen to Brady and draft an offensive player or go defense to help Jim. Great thought, Go Bills podcast, because look, you make a big-time investment into your offense by promoting Joe Brady and making the trade for DJ Moore, a guy who he's super familiar with and has a track record of high level of productivity down in Carolina when Joe Brady was the OC there. But you bring in Jim Leonhard for an entirely new defensive philosophy, and he was looked at as one of the most coveted DC candidates out there this cycle. So when you factor that in with the fact that a lot of the Bills' defensive players left in free agency, and an even bigger part of it is they haven't been picked up by anybody else around the league. Joey Bosa, a free agent still. AJ Epinesa, a free agent still. Tre'Davious White, a free agent still. Shaq Thompson, a free agent still. So is Matt Milano. So is Taylor Rapp. So are all the defensive tackles like Jordan Phillips and Daquan Jones. Like every single Bills defensive player is literally a free agent still. So that side of the ball was not good enough last season. It's got to get better in 2026, and that could mean, and my inference is going to be that they are going to draft a front seven player with the 26th overall pick. Now, before we move on with the rest of today's show, I got to tell you guys about something really, really awesome. It's our sponsor and our friends in the program. That's PrizePicks, where it's the best sports picks app in all of America. And with playoff basketball here, there's no better time to cash in with our friends than at PrizePicks. And I'll tell you this, the app is really easy to use. All you got to do is pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. It just makes watching games way more fun. And if you're a hoops guy, you can go with points, rebounds, assists, blocks, or three-pointers. If you're more of a seam head, you can choose hits, home runs, or strikeouts. But they even have football season-long projections all the way in April. One thing I love about PrizePicks is the new social feeds feature where you can share your picks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. You can even follow me on the app at Tyler J. Smith to see all of my lineups. And with the pro basketball playoffs starting this week, I got a couple of game one picks. Jaylen Brown, more than 25.5 points. He's been making a big-time case for MVP this season, and he's been filling it up in the scoring column. Jason Tatum, since he has returned back from a torn Achilles, I got more than 9.5 rebounds for him because he's been one of the better rebounders in all of basketball. And then Kelly Oubre always has a big game against the Celtics. So I'm going more than 13.5 points in a game one feel-it-out situation for the role player. Before you take my picks or fade my picks, just download the PrizePicks app today. And for new users, we got an offer for you. Use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with PrizePicks. And the clickable link to download the app is in the comment section, in the description, and in the live chat right now for today's stream. Shout out to PrizePicks, man, for sponsoring today's show. Let's go. Go Bills podcast. And Blumpkins still rocking and rolling with me in the chat. We got 12 people watching here, and we're going to get underway in just 2 minutes from right now here in the Chat Sports Live Mock Draft. As we know, the Raiders, with the number 1 overall pick, it's presumed that Fernando Mendoza will be the selection there. And look, he could be a franchise quarterback. They did bring in Kirk Cousins maybe to have Fernando sit behind him for a couple of weeks, or if not, the entire first season. I doubt that will be the case that long term, but they are bringing in a vet for some insurance there. He's going to be the number 1 pick. The draft really starts at 2. Who knows what the New York Jets will do, but they're probably going to go with one of the top edge rushers in this draft, a David Bailey or an Arvell Reese or even a Ruben Bain could catch people off of guard. But Jets are really going to make the first unique pick of this draft. And then things are getting really confusing. A lot of people are saying like the Cardinals could go anywhere at number 3 overall. They could even trade down 2. Also, the Tennessee Titans could go a lot of different avenues. They could go edge rusher. They could go a guy like Jeremiah Love or a Sonny Styles at 4. So there's a lot to be discussed here. Got the first couple of picks coming up in just a second as we are getting ready for the Chat Sports Mock Draft. If you're ready for the Chat Sports Mock Draft, spam go in our chat right now and like today's stream as well. If you're ready for this Chat Sports Mock Draft, Bills picking at 26 and 91, so there will be a decent stretch of selections in between those 2 picks for Buffalo, but I want you guys to rock and roll with us as we take in the rest of the draft, and we can talk about more prospects that may be on the board next week when it's all ready to roll. Blumpkins dropping some goes in the chat. Go Bills podcast saying offensive tackle is an underrated position of need. Injuries happen there. We could be 1 play away from Travis Clayton starting. You're absolutely right. Or Chase Lundt or Tylen Grable, who, guys, I'm not really super confident in any of those guys starting games for Buffalo, as opposed to a guy like Ryan Vandermark and Alec Anderson as backups last year. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal for me. But I wouldn't go there until day 3 of the draft. That's, again, not something that I'm going to be taking with the first. With the Bills only having 2 picks in the top 125, it's just not all that worth it, if you ask me. After the top 3 or 4 DTs and their good value in the 3rd round, later Dominique Orange, Dale Jackson, or Dante Corleone, I absolutely believe that. Absolutely believe that there, Blumpkins. Absolutely do. You want to get the just go back to this and get the on the clock graphic on, because the Raiders are on the clock officially with the number 1 overall pick in the Chat Sports 2025 live mock draft. Let's go. The one. Yep. Oh, you gotta move it above me though. It's what bucket is it in? Oh, we'll put it. Just move it to GFX3. I think you just right click on the graphic. Yep. Boom. It's probably because that's for the 2 cam. I like it because it gives you the next couple of teams on the board. That's probably why it's for GFX1. But I like it like that. Like that's super. That's fire to me. The Raiders are on the pick or on the clock here with the first pick. What up, Carl Knight? Good to see you, my man. How we doing? How we living? Chat Sports Mock Draft, bro. We're picking for the Bills at 26. You guys are going to get to give input on that selection. We're only going to have a minute to do so, though. So once we get about 5 picks away, we're going to start really ramping up and going over some names here for your Buffalo Bills. Let's go. So haven't gotten any intel on this pick just yet. I'm sure the Raiders are taking their full time as we do have it now. The number 1 overall pick, Fernando Mendoza to the Las Vegas Raiders, the national champion. And whoa! Pick number 2 is in now all of a sudden. Caleb Downs off the board. 2nd overall selection to the New York Jets. They don't go edge rusher, and Caleb Downs is the pick there. Is there trades? If so, it's smart to trade down. I made calls on a trade. Oh my goodness! There's bonkers things going on early on in the Chat Sports Mock Draft. Caleb Downs at 2, Fernando Mendoza obviously at 1, but we have a monster trade with the 3rd overall pick going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow. 9 and 40 going to Arizona for Kansas City, getting the 3rd overall pick. What will Patrick Mahomes get added to his roster? Our first trade, here it is. When's the draft? Next Thursday. Next Thursday is round 1, 2, and 3 on Friday, and then the rest of the draft on Saturday. Wow, a big-time trade. Remember, this is all a simulation mock draft with all 32 NFL YouTube channels here at Chat Sports. This is not a real trade, but it would be crazy if it is. And with the 3rd overall pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select David Bailey, edge rusher, Texas Tech. Wow. So Kansas City, when some people think that a guy like Ruben Bain could fall to them at pick 9, they move up to go get a premier edge rusher in David Bailey. Wild. What do you guys think? Grade the trade. Grade the pick. What do you guys think? They gave up 9 and 40 to move up to number 3 overall. Make sure you always have the on the clock graphic up whenever we go back to this. Let's get it. Grade the pick. A, B, C, D, or F. No, that Chiefs trade is not real. Chiefs trade is not real. It is a Chat Sports mock draft. So I'm here in the Bills breakdown by Chat Sports. Now, the Chiefs report just made that selection. Now Titans Today is on the clock at pick 4. So we have 32 different channels that are making selections for today's draft. So we have the 4th overall selection now made. Wow. Sonny Styles goes 4th overall. And now the New York Giants, many thought, would have the opportunity to choose between a Sonny Styles or a Caleb Downs. Both Buckeyes off of the board. Wow. Great to pick a Sonny Styles by Tennessee. Yeah, athletic freak. I mean, wowed everybody at the combine, and he has the size and stature to be a long-time top linebacker in this league. I would love if the Bills were able to get him, but man. Mock drafts are lame and boring. These are what ifs. Yeah, dude. What do you mean mock drafts are lame and boring? It's the entire season of the draft. If you don't like that, then just don't pay attention at all until the draft is up. The Giants are now on the clock with the 5th overall pick. We got 11 people watching, 6 likes. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon and like today's stream. Would be greatly appreciated. As the Giants pick is in And they are getting romantic. Jeremiah Love off of the board here, running back out of Notre Dame. So with that being said, like, a lot of people's top players overall in the draft that don't include team need or, the positional value of, edge rusher, offensive line, quarterback, wide receiver, all that stuff. Like, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love are looked at as some of the best players in this draft overall. They're all off the board now. So with that being said, Parker, why don't we take a look at the big board as to who's left for the rest here. Arvell Reese, I know a guy who is projected by many to go as early as number 2. Still on the board there. Per our Tom Downey, number 1 on his big board now. Mansour Delane, the cornerback out of LSU, is the number 2 overall player that we have here. Spencer Fano, tackle out of Utah, he's there too. And then Ruben Bain at the 9th overall prospect per Downey. He's the 4th best available. Carnell Tate at 5. Francis Maui Noah at 6. Vega Ioane, a top 7 player still available. The number 12 overall prospect on the Chat Sports big board. As another trade goes down. Whoa! Number 6 overall pick going to the Dallas Cowboys. Uh-oh. Jerry Jones making big-time moves. Wow, so 6 and 39 go to Dallas for 12 and 20. Could that be Ty Simpson at 20th overall for Cleveland? And Dallas's pick is in. If you want to go to the full screen one for that, who's it going to be? Is it Arvell Reese? This has got to be Arvell Reese for the Cowboys. It is Arvell Reese. Wow. Edge rusher at Ohio State, former off-ball backer. Good big-time athlete. And he made a lot of wild plays last year for Ohio State. Grade that trade down in the chat. Grade that trade. So the Cowboys get pick 6 and pick 39 for 12 and 20. Another trade? Miami on the clock now. The Commanders trade down. Wow. So the Dolphins are going to be picking at 7 here. Are they going to go get Carnell Tate? Mansour Delane? 11 and 87 going to the Commanders here. Wow. 80s, that's a big time selection. That's a big time selection. So who will the Miami Dolphins pick at number 7 overall? Because they have all the team needs in the world. They may be one of the worst rosters in all of football. $26 in next year's first for Sexy Dexy and pick 37. It's an interesting deal, actually. I wouldn't give away a 2027 first. Teams are very unwilling to give up the 2027 first, even though Brandon Beane at the deadline for Jalen Waddle wouldn't give up this year's first. They want to give up next year's when no other GM has that philosophy. That's our guy. That's our guy. Why wouldn't the Giants just have kept Saquon? I mean, yeah, I think factor in Saquon is also turning like 29 years old, right? Like, isn't he? He's been in the league 8 years now. Saquon Barkley, 29 years old. He turned on February 9th. So he'll be 30 at the end of next season. Meanwhile, Jeremiah Love is 21. We're still waiting on the Miami pick, and we have it. Wow, Ruben Bain staying home with the Miami Dolphins. Edge rusher out of Miami. Now, Bain with some off-the-field stuff coming up recently. But teams apparently are aware of it. And looks like it's not really deterring many teams here. He still goes well into the top 10 at 7th overall. Saints now on the clock at 8. What do you guys think of Ruben Bain to Miami at 7, giving up what they gave up to get him an additional 3rd-round pick to move up 4 slots? I don't hate it. So the draft so far, Fernando Mendoza, Caleb Downs off the board at 2. That's a monster selection. And a big swing of the bat by a former NFL DB in Aaron Glenn. David Bailey. Chiefs trade up to 3 to get David Bailey. That's insane to me. Another Red Raider going to Kansas City. Sonny Styles at 4 to the Tennessee Titans there. Jeremiah Love at 5 to the Giants. Arvell Reese at 6 to the Cowboys, who trade up with the Cleveland Browns. And then Ruben Bain at 7. Miami Dolphins trade up 4 spots to go up there and get the Hurricane hedge rusher. With that being said, looks like we're about to get another pick in. Oh, Sam, stop typing. The commissioner stopped typing. Saints get Lemon or Tate. I think it's going to be Carnell Tate here. I think it'll be Carnell Tate at 8 for New Orleans. With having Tyler Shuck, you need more weapons down there. Outside of Chris Olave, Parker, can you name me a Saints wide receiver?
Well, here's one.
Here is one as well. What the heck? We don't got a big camp for Carnell Tate. But that's all right. He goes 8th overall to New Orleans. Oh, there it is. It populated and take me off the dang screen. There he is. I'm not Carnell Tate. That's Carnell Tate. And a guy who a lot of people project him to potentially look like a top-end wide receiver 2 in this league, which maybe has some teams deterring away from a top 5 overall pick in the draft. This would be the Cardinals pick at 9. Okay. So Carnell Tate, 8th overall to New Orleans, getting Tyler Shuck another weapon. Carnell Tate getting comp to guys like Chris Olave, who his teammate will be there in New Orleans, and T. Higgins. So, with the best available picks up on the board now, Mansour Delane, 6th overall player on our big board. He is still up there at 9. Spencer Fano, 8th overall player on the big board. I think the Cardinals could go that route here, or maybe if Francis Maui-Noah, we shall see what Joey O'Donohue decides to do with the 9th overall pick. Vega Ioane at 4 on our big board here. Guard out of Penn State, a real mauler, but guard isn't a big-time priority selection. We'll see how early he ends up going. Arizona, what do we got? As they trade down with Kansas City, and they picked up, what did they pick up in that deal? Yeah, we can go look at it in a sec here, but Francis Maui-Noah will be that selection, a guy who a lot of people think could be selected at the 3rd overall pick for Arizona. He goes to the Cardinals at 9 with that trade down with Kansas City. A lot of people think he could shift over to guard eventually at the next level, but he's a big boy, and he was big time protecting Carson Beck out there with the Hurricanes, the runner-up, the national champs. So the Chiefs got that 3rd overall pick for 9 and 40. Do you think that's enough if you're a Chiefs fan? I mean, if you're a Chiefs fan, of course you think that's enough, but I don't think that's enough to move up to 3. 40. I think you got to get another first if you're moving up 9 to 3. And then you know what? Maybe Kansas City or maybe Arizona sends back like a 3rd or a 4th. But you need to get another first round pick, I think, if you're moving from 9 to 3. Maybe that's me, but we got the 10th overall pick now to the Cincinnati Bengals, and it will be another Bengal in the Bengals. Mansour Delane, LSU corner, joining Burrow, Chase, and I'm sure they have another LSU player on that Bengal roster somewhere. He goes and is going to revamp this Bengal defense, which badly needs some patchwork. You could argue the best corner in college football last year, and what you could argue is he was the most athletic corner at testing at any pro day. Just take the name badge off. Any pro day, he wowed all the teams. It was a week or two ago, and that will round out the top 10 picks for the Chat Sports Mock Draft first round. Now, I will say, we have a special deal going on during today's stream. As you guys know, we are Chat Sports. We are a big-time brand here in the YouTube space, 32 NFL channels, and we decided to start dropping some swag for you guys. And right now, during this Chat Sports Live Mock Draft, we got a flash sale going on site-wide at chatsports.com/merch. Just started just now, chatsports.com/merch to get yours today. We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got hats, we got whatever you need, sizes and colors, all available. Chatsports.com/merch to get yours today. It is 20% off for this entire Chat Sports Live Mock Draft. This entire Chat Sports Live Mock. You can get it at the link in the chat right now. Chatsports.com/merch. 20% off hoodies, hats, tees, so much more. There's team-specific stuff over there, too, if you want to get a gift for somebody. But click the link, that's in our chat right now, you can get some discounted merch here at Chat Sports. All right, so with that being said, let's go over the top 10 picks so far, and then we'll go over the best available one more time. What we got on here? Anything good? All right. So the top 10 overall selections in the Chat Sports 2026 mock draft. Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall, the national champion, Heisman winning quarterback out of the Indiana Hoosiers. Hopefully steers the Raiders in the right direction here. They've been a directionless franchise for the better part of 20 years. Caleb Downs, number 2 overall. Bit of a surprise, perhaps, out of Ohio State there at number 2 overall. That takes a guy like him off the board for guys like Giants at pick 5. David Bailey gets picked at pick number 3, but Kansas City moves up to select him. The Cardinals move down to pick 9, and we'll see who they pick in just a second here. Sonny Styles at the 4th overall pick to Tennessee, and then Jeremiah Love goes to the New York Giants at 5. Arvell Reese at 6 to the Dallas Cowboys. They trade up with the Cleveland Browns and pick up an additional first-round pick from Dallas at 20. Ruben Bain stays home after the Dolphins trade into the top 10 and take a homegrown edge rusher there out of the Hurricanes. Carnell Tate gets Tyler Shuck, another weapon wide receiver at Ohio State. He's getting Chris Olave and T. Higgins comps. He can go up and get the football. 9th overall pick, as the Cardinals did trade down from 3, Francis Maui-Noah, another Miami Hurricane in the top 10. And then Mansour Delane, cornerback at LSU. The Bengals are bad on the defensive side of the football, so they're going to get some help there in the secondary to help Joe Burrow get on the field quicker and quicker as they still try to chase that elusive Super Bowl trophy. So, with that being said, Commanders traded down from 7 to 11 with the Miami Dolphins. They're going to be on the clock here in just a minute as we take a break in the action of our Chat Sports Live mock. Let me see what time they say. We're going to get back to it. Number 11 pick at 225, and it's 228 right now. And number 11 is in. Oh, my. Jaden Daniels, get another weapon for you. Makai Lemon, 11th overall pick. Shifty, tough to bring down, slot receiver out of USC. Go watch the tape. It's a fun watch. Grade that pick. I like that pick a lot for Washington. Jaden Daniels was not as good of a year last year. I know he was hurt. He had the elbow bent backwards, and he was out for a good while. But even when he was healthy, wasn't really what he was during his rookie year. And you have Terry McLaurin there. Parker, who's another Commanders wide receiver. Do you know? I don't. Can we name one? I think Zacchaeus is elsewhere last year. Was he with the Bears? I went back to the Falcons. I don't know their wide receiver too. So good pick. Good pick in my opinion. As long as Makai Lemon isn't a weirdo. He was a bit shady at the combine. Looked a little bit immature too in terms of like not paying attention during some of the drills. He wasn't very good because of that lack of attentiveness. So he was not. He literally like the definition of Makai Lemon at the combine was just not locked in. Which, you know what? For some guys, it's just like, yeah, go throw on the tape. Go watch me play football. 12 is in as well, and the Browns beef up that O-line. Spencer Fano, 12th overall pick. Wow. So Fano I've seen go as high as 5. I've seen him drop all the way to 20 in some drafts. Interesting selection here. A little bit on him. Quality athlete who moves well and will get himself into a good spot. Improvements each year in pass pro and could add some more mass given his frame and might have issues with big bull rushers. Look, he played a lot of snaps for Utah there at the right tackle spot, and he can move guys. And the Browns, they need guys who in the trenches to build out this roster because, look, they're not in a position to have a Super Bowl level, I'd even say playoff game winning level quarterback on their roster right now. They're not going to have that for a year or two. So why not beef up the trenches, invest in the O-line, and once that quarterback does come into the situation, you have him equipped with a lot of surrounding talent. I like that pick for Cleveland, but we do have the Rams on the clock at 13. And wow, Kenyon Sadiq, L.A. Ram. That is as high as I've seen him go in drafts, to be honest with you guys. That is high for Kenyon Sadiq. But I've also seen him go pretty often at pick 15 to the Bucs, so is it really that ridiculous of a pick? Look at the guy. He looks like an action figure. And he didn't put up the craziest numbers for Oregon last year, but the touchdowns, when they were in the red zone, they would go to Sadiq. Had a little bit of a drop issue. Can't lie to you guys. A little bit less than a 10% drop rate. Like, it's not good. But he is an underrated blocker as well. And he's just a raw athlete. You can run him as a big slot receiver. You can run him on the boundary. You can run him as an inline tight end. Like, it's a lot of versatility that you can add to your offense, and a chess piece for Sean McVay. That should scare a lot of people. All right, so on the clock at 14 is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. What are they going to do with the 14th overall pick? They go weapon 2. Jordan Tyson, another one of my guys that if he was on the board at 26 for Buffalo would be an auto pick for me. But he goes well before that at 14th. That's tough, man. That is tough. Wow. He was damn good last year, considering he missed 4 games, and he still had 700 yards and 8 touchdowns. And he eliminated his drop problem, but he's been injured every single season of his college career. He's missed time all 4 years. I like Jordan Tyson a lot. Some people think he could fall, but my guy Joey Peterson was having none of that at 14th overall. Let me know in the comment section right now, who's your sleeper pick? Do you guys have any guys who you have your eye on for this NFL draft who could be picked, maybe late in first round that a lot of people aren't talking about, day 2, day 3 type of guys? Let me know what your sleeper pick is in the 2026 draft down in the chat. Tyson to the Ravens. The wild pick. Now all of a sudden the Bucs on the clock at 15. Damn, my other pick's coming up soon. My other pick's coming up soon. When the Carolina Panthers are on the clock, I'll be making that selection as well. That'll be fun. I might shock the world with that pick. We'll see. I actually think he could go well before 19. The guy that I'm thinking about. Both guys that I'm thinking about could be off the board. And Keldrick Falk, 15th to the out of Auburn, edge rusher there, goes to Tampa Bay. We'll have more to say about Keldrick Falk in tomorrow's or later today's video. Yeah, later tonight's video. We're going to drop it right after this live stream. So we'll talk about Keldrick Falk then, because a certain mock draft had him going to the Bills. A guy who Dane Brugler has is 15th overall prospect, so he goes right in his slot there at 15 of the Bucs. Didn't have a ton of production last year at Auburn, but his junior year he was really damn good, and he's all about ball, like just nonstop, always wants to play, and I think that's going to bode well for the NFL. It really can contribute right away in the run game, but it has some work to do as a pass rusher, so I like to pick, but if he was on the board for 26 of the Bills, I would certainly think about that selection. Upcoming picks, here we go. Jets at 16, the Lions at 17, the Vikings at 18, the Panthers at 19. We can still see more trade action here in the first round. I bet we will. So we'll see what the Jets do with this pick. As they took Caleb Downs at number 2 overall, they will continue to fortify that defense. Akeem Mesidor, 16th overall pick, because some people are worried about the age on him. 6th-year senior, 25 years old, Mesidor is, but he wrecked the game last year at Miami, man. 12.5 sacks, 67 pressures. Like, you just can't deny that level of production. He's going to produce right away. Dane Brugler with this on Mesidor, saying he won't be universally loved because of his age and injury history, but he's a disruptive force off the edge who's always playing 100 miles an hour. He projects a 3-down NFL starter with interior value on sub packages. So, man, if he was a guy who fell to the Bills at 26, I would be all over it, because I don't have any concerns about age. He can produce right away, and he can kind of be versatile and moved around that defensive line. So, interesting pick there by the Jets and Aaron Glenn sticking with the defense. There's just at number 2 and number 16 for the Jets, considering what was on the board, there wasn't really a ton of high-powered offensive talent. So I think they get 2 of the best instant contributing defenders in this draft. I think they've done really well for themselves. Number 17 overall pick has come in now as well. Kaden Prather at 17 to Detroit. And we have a trade. Oh, my goodness. 2 friendly GMs here making a deal. And Dexter Lawrence gets traded to the Minnesota Vikings for the 18th and 94th overall picks. Whoa! Dexter Lawrence gets traded to Minnesota. Whoa. What will the Giants do now with pick 18? What will the Giants do with pick 18 now trading away Dexter Lawrence to the Minnesota Vikings. Again, not real. Just my guy Marshall Green and my guy Patrick Seaman making a couple of trades here in our Chat Sports Live mock. Grade that trade. Grade that trade. Damn. I would have given up 26 and 91. This is a better deal, but damn. Who are they going to take? They are thinking about this one. I think they're going to go with... I think they may go Jermod McCoy. Yeah. No linebacker on the board. Oh, they get a mauler. This is a good pick. This is a good pick. They're investing in the offense in this draft. Vega Ioane going 18th overall to the New York Football Giants. Plays with power as a run blocker and hardly gets beaten pass pro last year. Moves very well for his size and good pop in his hands and grip strength to latch on. Still a bit stiff in pass pro at this point, but he's going to slide in and start right away at guard for the Giants. And their offensive line is suddenly looking really damn good. What do you guys think about that trade that lands Vega Ioane in New York? Damn, I got to pick. I know I'm taking, though. Carolina on the clock. Damn, both the guys that I'd be willing to have. This is my number one player, though. I'm sorry. Boom. It's going to be in a second. With the 19th overall pick in the Chat Sports Live mock draft, the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. Damn, Vega Ioane. And Dylan Thieneman goes 19th overall to the Carolina Panthers. One of my guys in the draft. Look, folks, he was going to go before pick 26 for Buffalo. There's no doubt in my mind. But I did make this pick at 19th overall to Carolina. He provides a unique ability to both be rangy with coverage over the top, but also lay the boom and fit gaps in the run game near the line of scrimmage. So he's a very unique player, tested unbelievably at the combine, made play after play after play for Oregon last year. The Indiana tape isn't that great, but everything else really jumps off the page for him. And he's on the board at 19 for Carolina, a channel that I also host here at Chat Sports. No full transparency here. That's who I'd be all over if I was Dan Morgan and the Panthers. So, with that being said, best available players: Jermod McCoy, Monroe Freeling, Casey Concepcion, Omar Cooper Jr. are up there right now as the best available players on the board. We'll see if one of those receivers makes the Buffalo at 26. I would consider taking one of them for sure. What do you guys think is the biggest draft need for the Buffalo Bills at this point? We're about to round out the 20th overall pick in this draft, this mock draft. But let me know, what's the biggest draft need for the Bills here? Yeah, I think it was a damn good pick there, Blumpkin. Yeah, the DTs, the defensive tackles are falling. And at 20th overall, wow. So the Browns continuing to fortify that offense, going Omar Cooper Jr. 20th overall. I knew he'd be off the board. He'd be very high up on my Bills' big board. I probably would select him at 26 if he was there. Damn, he goes 26, and he was just a playmaker last year at Indiana, man. I'll tell you this, too. Omar Cooper Jr., he was used a lot differently in 2025 than he was in 2024, but he still made big plays in both situations. And a lot of his stuff was done in the quick game this year because they ran an RPO offense at Indiana. But 13 touchdowns, including one of the biggest of the entire season, maybe the biggest of Indiana's entire season against Penn State. Fourth quarter, game-winning drive. He goes up and gets it in the back of the end zone. He's that level of player. He's a winner, and he's tough to bring down as well, man. Really, really great change of direction and contact balance on him. So, go from one. With that being said, let's roll through the first 20 picks in the draft. Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall, the Las Vegas Raiders. No surprise there. Caleb Downs got things off to a crazy wild start at number 2 overall to the Jets, and then things just go off the rails completely. We got the Kansas City Chiefs moving up to number 3 to Get David Bailey, another Texas Tech Red Raider going to KC there. Sonny Styles going at 4 to the Tennessee Titans. Jeremiah Love at 5 to the Giants. Arvell Reese, a Dallas Cowboys trade up with the Cleveland Browns, 6th overall there, and he falls a little bit in my opinion. Ruben Bain goes 7 to the Miami Dolphins. They trade up with the Washington Commanders there. Carnell Tate, Saints stick and pick there and get Tyler Shuck, a new weapon. We got Francis Maui-Noah off that trade down with KC, going 9th overall to the Cardinals. Mansour Delane, athletic corner out of LSU, another Tiger joining the Bengals. Makai Lemon, he goes 11th to the Washington Commanders after that trade down with Miami. Another weapon for Jaden Daniels. Spencer Fano, 12th to the Browns, fortifying that offensive line with really no quarterback solution in sight. Kenyon Sadiq, athletic, highlight-level tight end. He goes 13 to the Rams to be a great chess piece for Sean McVay. Jordan Tyson getting the Ravens, a big-time weapon, a big player who has a lot of injury risk, but if he's healthy, he's going to pop at the next level, no doubt about it. He goes 14th to Baltimore. Keldrick Falk at 15 to the Buccaneers. Akeem Mesidor at 16 to the Jets. Kaden Prather at 17 to the Lions. And the Giants trade Dexter Lawrence to the Minnesota Vikings for pick 18 and pick 94. They grab Vega Ioane to fortify that offensive line, fill a gap for them at guard, and get Jeremiah Love, another guy who can move people around for him. The Carolina Panthers, I took this pick. Dylan Thieneman, safety out of Oregon, goes 19th to Carolina. And then Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver out of Indiana, goes 20th to the Browns. With that being said, we got to go through another merch read because we have an awesome deal going on here at Chat Sports today. If you go to chatsports.com/merch, you're going to see a site-wide sale of 20% off everything that you see, whether it's team merch, whether it is generic merch, brand merch that we got, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, we got it all at chatsports.com/merch, and it's a 20% off site-wide sale. That link is in the chat right now. Sizes and colors are all available, and if you want to rep the brand, show a little bit more love to the shows we got going on here, we're growing super quick. People are going to start recognizing you in these Chat Sports gear. chatsports.com/merch to get yours today. All right, so 21 back on the clock, and 21, Casey Concepcion. You got to be kidding! You have got to be kidding. So the Bills, I don't know if I'm going wide receiver at 26. Let me tell you guys. Casey Concepcion, one of the best separators in this draft class, does have a drop problem, but is insane after the catch, makes good plays over the middle of the field. Now we're 4 picks away all of a sudden. Who should the Bills pick at 26th overall? Let me know. Who's your top guy? Drop some names for me in the chat. Because we're officially in the on-the-clock graphic. So we're 4 picks away. Let me know. 22 for the Chargers is in all of a sudden, too. Howell or trade down? Wow, T.J. Parker out of Clemson goes to L.A. Not as good of a year this past season as he did in 2024, which makes him fall a little bit in this draft. But T.J. Parker is damn good, and Jim Harbaugh getting another defensive chess piece over there. 5 sacks last year, 41 pressures. Again, not the best production for him compared to his junior year, but a guy who's been in the Dabo Swinney system. Front 7 players from Clemson work out more often than they don't, and then when they get paired up with Jim Harbaugh, usually that's going to result in something pretty special. Alrighty, so the Bills now officially 4 picks away, 3 picks away on the next part of our on-the-clock graphic there. Drop some names. McDonald or Miller at DT? I am more of a Caden McDonald fan, personally. I understand Christian Miller is a bit better of a pass-rushing player, but neither one of them is really that good in that regard. Eagles pick is in as well. Wow, Maxi Hanachor, 23rd overall, tackle out of Arizona State. Maybe a bit high at that pick. I also haven't been paying that much attention to the tackles going in this draft. I've seen guys like a Blake Miller or some Caleb Lomu talk. But Maxi Hanachor going 23rd to the Philadelphia Eagles there. So right now, for me, if we take a look at the big board real quick, we could see who's still on the board for Buffalo to go out there and select. I don't like anybody here. Jamal McCoy I may go with if he's on the board. I doubt it, though. I'm sure one of these next two teams will take him. Oh, wait, I think we have 23 in. Yeah. Oh, no, that was Philly. I may go. I may go with Jamal McCoy. I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, Monroe Freeling, Chris Johnson, a little cornerback here. Monroe Freeling. Wow. So, the Browns getting bookend tackles in this draft so far. They got Spencer Fano, and they got Monroe Freeling to protect whatever quarterback situation they got going on. Lord knows they'll need it. Man, good player. Moving up a lot of people's boards. He's a guy who's actually moving up very high on the draft boards right now. And I'm not a guy who the Bills are going to really have on their board in round 1. Maybe a guy that Carolina has on their board at 19. But Monroe Freeling, I've been hearing a lot more buzz about him going to the top 15 than with a pick at 24. But the Bills are now 2 picks away all of a sudden. And I am really unsure of who we're going to pick. I would love to have traded down, but we were not able to do that this time around. This is a weird part of the draft, man. And the Bears are going to have their pick in soon. I know it. I have thoughts. Oh, my God. The Bills are on the clock. All of a sudden, the Bears are in. Bears go Jamal McCoy. Shit! I'm in a pickle. I'm in a pretzel here at 26. Shit. Damn. You know what? Yeah. All right. I'll do it. So, what do we guys think? Who should the Bills pick at 26? I got a little bit of time to get my pick in here. About 30 seconds. McDonald or Basantis? I can't go guard. Man. I can't trade down, too, by the way. It's just the trade deadline passed. I can't trade down. What do I got to do? I know what I'm doing. Really? Somebody's saying Rodriguez? That's crazy. All right. So the pick is in. We will see when it populates. Let me know. Go to the full screen for this one. Or you know what? Go to the big player L3. With the 26th overall pick in the 2026 Chat Sports Live Mock Draft, your Buffalo Bills select Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker, Texas Tech. This dude knows how to make plays. Let me tell you what. And the big knock on Rodriguez heading into the 2026 NFL Draft was that he wasn't athletic enough. Well, you know what? Go look at the man's RAS score. Go look at the athletic profile that he put on display at the NFL Combine and tell me that's not an NFL linebacker. This guy is all heart. Just got to report on Rodriguez real quick for you guys. Constantly around the ball and making plays. Any questions on athletic ability were answered at the NFL Combine. Won't be great at shedding and true size. Could be an issue against the run and pass. But at the end of the day, he's going to go out there and make plays for you, man. 7 forced fumbles last year at Texas Tech. That led all of FBS. 10 PBUs, 4 picks. He was excellent in pass pro. You want to see some of those numbers that he boasted back there in Indianapolis? Here you go. Oh, yeah, ran a 4.57 40. Yeah, shuttle was a 4.19. It was damn good. 3-cone was good. 38-inch vertical. 23 bench press reps. You think he's not big enough? Oh, yeah. This guy lays the boom, and he can make big-time plays over the middle of the field. Dane Brugler with this to say on Rodriguez. Rodriguez is a very average size profile, but his athletic versatility has made him a more instinctive linebacker and helps him play decisively. He should immediately compete for a starting role in the NFL. People got him projected out like Carson Schwessinger this draft. Let's just go to the player top, and then grade the pick. We'll keep talking about that. We'll go through some of the other picks real quick. Yeah. Jacob Rodriguez. people got him comped out to some really damn good players, like a Carson Schlesinger from last year, who fell in the early part of round 2, but he was the defensive rookie of the year. And he projects to be one of the top linebackers in this league for a long damn time. That's what I'm thinking for Jacob Rodriguez. He and Terrell Bernard off the ball in this new Jim Leonhard scheme. I love it. What do you guys think? Grade the pick. What do you guys think? A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the pick of Jacob Rodriguez for Buffalo at 26. So now we have some trades. Wow, look at this. The Niners picked at 27. They go Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. That was the player that I was debating between. It was Emmanuel McNeil-Warren and Jacob Rodriguez. I was thinking about going McNeil-Warren. Maybe I should have, but I decided to chicken out there. Then we saw a trade go down at 28. The Texans trade down from 28 to 31. They pick up a 4th-round pick. And the New England Patriots move into 28 here. We will see what they go with this selection. Maybe a Denzel Boston for Drake May. Could see that going down. A+ there, James? A+ there, James? Hell yeah. Well, it's in. And they go out there and trade up for Caleb Lomu. That was horrible. That's awful. Would you just give up a 4? Like, this is what Alper did. He just gave up a 4th-round pick because it's not being used in this mock draft, and he doesn't care just to move up, just to go say you got to trade and moved up. Like, Caleb Lomu, the Panthers got him at 51 in Mel Kiper's mock draft. Horrendous GMing. So it looks like it will now be the Chiefs at pick 29. Remember that trade with the Rams for Trent McDuffie, right? Yeah. Dolphins at 30. That trade with Denver for Jalen Waddle. Let's go, let's go. Okay. Cool. Who's going to get picked at 29 here to Kansas City? Okay, this is a guy I've seen mocked around this pick from time to time. Colton Hood, another cornerback opposite Jermon McCoy down there in Tennessee. He goes 29th to the Chiefs. Interesting pick there. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I haven't done much research on Colton Hood. Hopefully the Bills don't take him at 26 next week. Yeah. More or less than 5.5 trades today. We've already seen I'm just going to do it off the top of my head. Cowboys trade up to 6. We've seen the Dolphins trade up to 7. We've seen somebody moved up again. Chiefs have moved up to 3. That was another one of the top 10. Then we had the Giants trade Dexter Lawrence for 18. And then this one. So we're at 5. There's going to be another one, yeah. There's way more than 5. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So many trades. And Chris Johnson goes 30th overall to the Miami Dolphins there. Wow. They get a corner. San Diego State. People really like him in this draft. He's been a riser as of late. Okay. Interesting. Grade the pick. A, B, C, D, or F for the Dolphins. And let me know in the chat now, too. Who's your favorite day 2 draft prospect here? Considering the Bills aren't picking again until 91. Houston Texans better make their pick as well. And they are in, too. What do we got there at 31? Waiting for it to populate. And the Texans will go out there and address. I swear I hear Jeremy in the next room over. That's why I was like, uh-oh. Pittsburgh trading into the into the first round. Maybe you look at a do we have one down here? Maybe L3, pick player L3 will have it in. Sometimes the different graphics will populate earlier than others. Oh, you don't have to do shouldn't there just be a regular pick L3 like this? You can keep that up. What do we think, folks? Yeah, still not in there. Maybe, hold on. Maybe they're addressing it. We'll see. They're both typing. We don't have 32 either, right? Or we don't, yeah, right? Do we not have the trade? Okay. Okay, so the Seahawks picking up a treasure trove of picks here. 53, 76, and 21. Okay. And 121 for 32. Interesting. So I don't understand. What about pick player full screen? Do we have those? For 31 and 32? Okay. Just loaded in. The pick 31, Caden McDonald. Okay, so big-time Bills draft target there. He goes 31 to the Texans. And then Emmanuel Pregnon goes 32, guard, out of Oregon, to Pittsburgh. Yeah, I haven't heard much about him going in the first round, but he's certainly an early second-round pick guy. The Giants are looking at him at 37. Some other teams as well. So, with that being said, that concludes the first round of the Chat Sports 2026 NFL Mock Draft. We are going to take a quick break and tell you guys about our sponsor on today's show. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, America's #1 sports picks app. With playoff basketball finally here, there's no better time to cash in with our friends at PrizePicks. And I'll tell you this, the app is really easy to use. All you got to do is pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. If you're a hoops guy, you can go with points, rebounds, assists, blocks, or three-pointers. If you're more of a seam head, you can choose hits, home runs, or strikeouts. One thing I love is the new social feeds feature where you can share prize picks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. You can actually follow me on the app at Tyler J. Smith to see all of my lineups. And I have a lineup for this weekend's playoff basketball. Jaylen Brown, more than 25.5 points. He's been an absolute demon scoring the basketball all season. Jason Tatum's been a demon on the glass since he's come back from a torn Achilles. More than 9.5 rebounds there. And then Kelly Oubre, more than 13.5 points for Philadelphia. You can take my picks or fade my picks. Just do it at PrizePicks. And for new users, download the PrizePicks app today and use the code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive an additional $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with PrizePicks. The clickable link to download the app is in the comment section and description of today's video. So let's go through the first round real quick to recap it all. As we know, Fernando Mendoza goes #1 overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. Caleb Downs got things shaken at #2 to the Jets. Chiefs trade up from 9 to 3 to get David Bailey. Sonny Styles at 4 to the Tennessee Titans. Jeremiah Love at 5. Giants going with another playmaker. Arvell Reese at 6. The Cowboys trade up from 12 with the Browns. Another trade up here with the Dolphins moving up to 7 from 11 to get Ruben Bain. Carnell Tate at 8 to the New Orleans Saints, followed by Francis Maui Noah with the Cardinals trading down with Kansas City. Mansour Delane goes 10th to the Cincinnati Bengals at LSU. Mekhi Lemon gets Jalen Daniels, another weapon. Crazy slot shifty wide receiver out of USC. Spencer Fano beefing up the Browns offensive line is there in rebuild mode at 12th. Kenyon Sadiq, 13th to the Rams. I mean, that's a really intriguing piece for Sean McVay. Jordan Tyson getting Lamar, another weapon there at 14th out of Arizona State. Keldrick Folk, edge out of Auburn, goes 15th to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Akeem Mesidor at 16 to the New York Jets, followed by Kaden Prather at 17 to the Lions. They need more offensive line help. Vega Ioane goes 18 to the Giants because they traded Dexter Lawrence to the Minnesota Vikings. Dylan Thieneman goes 19 to the Carolina Panthers. Omar Cooper goes 20 to the Browns. Casey Concepcion, 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. TJ Parker, 22 to the Chargers. Maxi Honachor, 23 to the Philadelphia Eagles there to beef up their O-line. Then Monroe Freeling, bookend tackles now for the Browns at 24. Then we move on to 25 to Jamal McCoy for Chicago, followed by Jacob Rodriguez, who I selected for your Buffalo Bills, linebacker to Texas Tech. He's a demon. Got him at 26 for Buffalo. 27, we got the Niners taking Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. Caleb Lomo goes 28 to the Pats in a trade-up. Colton Hood, 29th to the Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Johnson, 30th, so back-to-back corners there. There's to Miami. And then Caden McDonald, the big-time Bills draft target, going 31st to the Texans in that trade down with New England. Emmanuel Prignon goes 32nd to the Steelers after the Seahawks trade out of round 1. What do you guys think of the pick that I made for your Buffalo Bills here in the Chat Sports Live mock draft? Texans have made another trade. Oh, my God. What is this? Texans trade for Kyle Pitts, who, by the way, was just franchise tagged. 59 and 243 go to Atlanta. Okay. All right. It is getting a little bit warm in this room here. I'm going to turn the fan on real quick down below. Alrighty. So, a big-time trade between Atlanta and Houston. And then we got the Jets on the board at 33. I promise the draft won't go this quick next week. No. So when you put the link in the chat for PrizePicks, Spark, do throw it in there like the whole thing. So I'll put it in there 3 times. Just do that every time. What's up? Denzel Boston at 33 to the Jets. Okay. Wow. Interesting look there. So a guy the Bills have their eye on. Again, Buffalo won't be on the clock till 91, so this isn't great. But we'll take in the draft as it goes along here. If you're fired up for the 2026 NFL Draft, do one thing for me. Go down below, like the video. 18 people watching, 10 likes. Why doesn't everybody go down below and like the video? As you see, the audience increases when we get more likes in the video. More people see this stream on the recommended feed. Bills fans who are looking for some pre-draft content can come in and take in all the picks with us in the first 3 rounds. Chat Sports Live mock draft. 34th overall selection, Malachi Lawrence, edge rusher out of UCF to Arizona. And look, Malachi Lawrence is a player that I was I've done research on before the draft. I just don't think he was going to be a day 1 contributor for Buffalo, so I didn't really have him on my board there at 26. Now the Titans are on the clock all of a sudden. Let's go. Blake Miller at 25 or 35 to the Tennessee Titans there. Cam Ward needs more protection. Not a bad pick. I mean, I have no idea what we're going to do at 91. My next pick will be at 51. Yeah. So is Miller. That's okay. They were just picked. We could still flash it. So Blake Miller and Malachi Lawrence just went off the board, so disregard them here. But Avion Terrell still up there at the 27th overall player on Tom Downey's big board. He's the #1 player available at 36. We got Chase Basantis, Texas A&M guard. He's highly touted. He's still on the board there. Peter Woods, he's been mocked a lot of times in the first round of drafts, so he's still there. D'Angelo Pons, corner out of Indiana, a Chat Sports legend. He's the 7th player best available. Cassius Howell is still there, the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. I thought about him at 26 for Buffalo, but did not decide to go in that direction. A lot of draft experts seem to be cooling on Cassius Howell. If you ask me, his stock continues to dip. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the arm length, the undersized frame, but he's bendy, he's speedy, he can get around the edge, and he had 11.5 sacks for Texas A&M last year. He was damn good. Number 35 overall pick, Blake Miller out of Clemson. And the number 36, we're going to stick with the Miller family. I don't think they're related, though. Christian Miller goes 36th overall to the Raiders, defensive lineman out of Georgia. Big-time Bills draft target here. He came in for a top 30 visit. He's damn good in terms of plugging up the middle of the interior of the defensive line. And he provides a bit more pass rushing upside than a guy like Caden McDonald does. So I feel like the Bills, if they are going to go D-line at 26, Christian Miller is going to be the player that they end up rolling with. But they've also taken meetings with Lee Hunter. We'll see if they try to trade down and get into round 2, pick up an additional day 2 pick, and get one of these interior defensive linemen that are mocked in the 30s and 40s. Alrighty. So the Giants back on the clock at 37. Where will they go here? I'm going to try to predict this one. Is there a receiver on the board? Oh, I bet you he goes D'Angelo Pons. He's going to go D'Angelo Pons. I would like that pick if I was them. Or Avion Terrell. I agree. Yeah, we're already an hour in. He does not. Wow. Look, they trade away Dexter Lawrence. You're going to need to beef up that defensive line. Peter Woods goes to the Giants. Now, Peter Woods, not as much of a run-stuffing defensive tackle as some of the other cats like a Caden McDonald or a Christian Miller, but still going to work on the interior of that defensive line. You need some level of depth there and differing skill sets because let's be honest, Dexter Lawrence got to the quarterback as a pass rusher better than anybody at his position. You need more interior pass rush there. Peter Woods is a solid pick at 37. Bills going to be back on the board at 91, so we're a ways away. And I'm not going to lie, I don't even know some of these guys that are down there. Yeah, the Giants have definitely revitalized this team a little bit. Jeremiah Love's going to be a top 15 running back the second he steps on an NFL field. Olava Vega Ioane, he is a mauler. Some people are calling him the best offensive lineman in this draft. And he goes 18th after they trade Dexter Lawrence in a hypothetical with the Minnesota Vikings. Then they pick Peter Woods to replace Sexy Dexy at 37. They get another pick at 97 here. I believe they actually pick at 94 too with the oh, maybe they traded that away. Yeah. No, they didn't. No, the Vikes just got Dexter Lawrence. It's all like, or maybe they just traded away with somebody else. They probably made multiple deals. Interesting. Number 38th overall selection here with the Texans on the clock. Kalen Rutledge, Georgia Tech guard here. They beef up that O-line. I'm not going to lie. I just get bored by offensive line picks. I just, especially once we get to round 2, like, I don't even know any of these guys anymore. And don't act like you do know these guys because you don't. Number 39 pick is in, though, as well. That's C.J. Allen out of Georgia. He wore the green dot for Kirby Smart in 2025. Like, damn good player, but he's slipping because a lot of people aren't loving the athletic profile that he possesses for the next level. He's not really good in pass coverage either, and that's something that teams are a bit worried about here. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, after pick 42, we will do a 2-minute break, I guess. Oh yeah. Sometimes they'll just pop in and out. Like they'll repop. Like they go back not orange eventually, right? What are those ones? Interesting. Okay. I don't know. But as far as who's next up on the clock, we'll have the Cardinals at 40, followed by the Bengals at 41, and the Saints at 42. And we'll take a quick break after those selections. Bills don't pick again for another 52 picks. Chat Sports legend, he's off the board now. D'Angelo Pons, 40th overall pick to the Cardinals in round 2. And you know what? I like D'Angelo Pons a lot. I understand that he's 5'8", and it's not the best size profile for a boundary corner in this league, but let me tell you, he went one-on-one with Denzel Boston a couple of times when Indiana Washington matched up this past season, and he locked him up every single time. It's a big wide receiver out there in the Pacific Northwest. And D'Angelo Pons got his hand on the football all year long, including against Boston. 13 PBUs in the season, 2 picks, and he had a pick 6 as well. Like the guy's a damn good football player, and if he was 6 foot, he might be the first or second overall corner in this draft. So he goes 40th to the Cardinals there in round 2. Now we're at pick 41 to the Bengals, and who will be going there? What is the Cincy crew going to give us at pick 41? D'Angelo Pons, 40th overall pick out of Indiana. So how many Hoosiers have gone off the board so far? Just Mendoza, Cooper, and him? Yeah. They'll have more coming off the board. A lot of day 3 guys in that Indiana team. Yeah, is it not working? Okay. They didn't tell you like what would be the protocol if that came up, right? Okay. Our Mason Thomas going 41st to the Bengals there, continuing to invest in that defense. You perhaps could. So they're all still orange. All right. Communicating with our comms guy, our commissioner. Cool. And the fall does finish here for Avion Terrell, 42nd to the New Orleans Saints. The problem with Avion Terrell, even though he had a ton of production at Clemson, people don't like the size. People don't like his ability to potentially man up at the next level because of his speed profile too. I like the player, and I've seen some people take him at 26th overall to Buffalo. So interesting selection, interesting fall there for Terrell. And we now take a break for 2 minutes, as I want to make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because we're bringing you the best Bills draft coverage out there. Like any rumors, any mocks that are out there, we're recapping them all. We're reacting to everything. We're giving our takes on all of the latest intel that comes in surrounding the Bills and whatever draft targets they have, subscribe to the channel, man. You don't want to miss a thing. Sub it up. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Sam said one other potential solution is having him link a completely different CSV sheet, then relink to the correct one. So like it's just link it to some BS and then change it back. It acts kind of like a refresh of the link. Yeah. Yes. Okay, cool. They're all fixed now? Cool. Ooh, what do we got here? Updated big board. Who's up there? Bills probably won't be able to get any of these guys. I like a player like Jake Golday, but I don't know. It just a situation where the Bills were at 26. I didn't think it was the best overall pick there. I did take him one of my mocks recently that high, but I just couldn't justify it in this one, especially with Rodriguez on the board. Chris Bell is still on the board. Another Bills target there, 47th overall player on Tom Downey's big board. Cassius Howell still available into the 40s. Now, not necessarily a crazy slide for him, but he is the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. He used to get taken in a lot of first rounds. He's getting well into the second round here now. As we begin the rest of round 2 with the 43rd overall selection to the Miami Dolphins, Chase Bisontis, guard out of Texas A&M. He's a guy who's rising up boards rapidly. And the Dolphins get another offensive lineman here. They just took who did they take? Blake Miller? I think they took Blake Miller at 31. Or at 30. Yeah, they took Blake Miller, I believe. What are the Dolphins cooking up? Big Citrus, the mini fridge for Bills at 91. I'd be down for the Big Citrus at 91. I would be super down for Big Citrus at 91. Actually, it's a fun draft. They didn't take an offensive lineman. They took Chris Johnson, corner out of San Diego State, at 30. Ruben Bain, they trade up to get at 7. 3 picks in the top 43. They hit on all 3 of them, I think. Now the 44th overall pick by the New York Jets is in. We got Brandon Cease, cornerback out of South Carolina, is on the board. 5'11". 1 pick last year. Not a ton of production down in Columbia. But the Jets now with their 4th pick in the top 44. How ridiculous is that? And they didn't even make any trades either. Like in this mock draft, they obviously made trades with the Cowboys and whatnot beforehand. But 4 picks in the top 44. This has to be a massive draft for the Jets. Yeah, it could be worse. It could be worse. Maybe, especially when the Jets aren't going to be contending anytime soon. Second contract's going to roll around. He's 30 years old. Literally. Past the age of 30. Isn't it crazy he's 4 years older than some of the players that are getting drafted here? 25. A bunch of these guys are 21 years old. I'd be 21 years old if I was getting drafted. When's your birthday? You'd be 20? Really? Out of senior year? Yeah. If I came out my junior year, I would have been I would have been in the NFL at 20 as well. But I wouldn't have played in the NFL at 20. I would have been drafted at 20. Oh, really? You're August? Late August? Nice. Maybe maybe week 1 of the preseason you would have been 20. 45th overall, and the Ravens getting more weaponry for Lamar Jackson. They went Jordan Tyson in round 1. They go Eli Stowers here at 45 in round 2. Widely regarded as the second best tight end in this class out of Vandy. Put up big-time numbers in the yardage game last year from Diego Pavia. Almost 800 yards, 12 yards a grab. Decent enough in the drop game, just under 5%. And then 4 touchdowns for him on the year, too. He ran the 40 and he ran a 4.5 at the tight end spot. It's not too bad, if you ask me. 45-inch vertical is really what you want to see there. He's an athletic freak. And I think it's a good value, actually, on Eli here. Where does Brugler have him? Tight end. Does he have him up there? Oh, he has him at 63. Okay, not a good value. Not a good value. This is our guy Downey on Stowers. Converted quarterback. Okay. He's from Denton. Did not know that. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to get the big citrus at 91. Dominique Orange. Big citrus. I want to see how far Caleb Banks ends up falling. Anthony Hill Jr. going 46. Back-to-back Dentonites. Oh my God. This is crazy. North Texas representing in round 2. Anthony Hill out of the University of Texas at Austin. Horns up. So the Bucks investing in the defensive side of the ball here. Ooh, I'm up in 5 picks. Not for the Bills, of course, but what am I thinking about here? Yep, they're going with the front 7 here. Shout out to Reed. Building up the trenches and getting close to the line of scrimmage. No Ty Simpson just yet. No Ty Simpson. I agree. I'm going BPA at 51. Next 4 picks will be the Colts, the Falcons, the Vikes, and the Lions, and the Panthers will pick at 51. Where does Indianapolis go here? Let's find out. 47 to Indy is in, and yep, there he is. Jake Golday, linebacker out of Cincinnati. It's a good pick. It's a good pick. I enjoy the Jake Golday film. He's a freak. Really fast, lined up, I think like over 400 snaps in the slot. Like, it was 488 snaps in the slot last year. Like, what are we doing? In the nickel, this guy was playing. And I think once he really starts playing a little bit more into the middle of the field, like in the Mike area, like he's going to be a lot better of a coverage player and get caught into less traffic. Yeah, he tests like a free 2, 4.6 40, 39-inch vert. 3-cone and shuttle were good, which, by the way, this is pretty damn good. Combine stuff. Jacob Rodriguez was wiped it all. Better 40, better shuttle, better 3-cone, better vert. Or I don't know if he had better vert. Let's take a look at Rodriguez's testing numbers here. He did not have a better vert. It was right about the same, though. 419 shuttle is way better, I believe. You want to throw up Golday right next to him, just so I can take a look at the comp. So the 3-cone was about a 1/10 of a second better. The shuttle was a 10th and a half of a second better. The 40 was 0.05 seconds better. The broad jump for Golday was a little bit better than Rodriguez, but Rodriguez got one more bench press up. So pretty identical, honestly, for the most part, athletically. Yeah. He moves. He can cover, man. He's real. He is real. Interesting pick for the Falcons is right. Chris Brazzell out of Tennessee. Speedy, vertical threat wide receiver. And he can go up and get it at 6'4". He's solid. He's solid. I like Brazzell. But this, I believe, is the biggest reach of the draft right now. If we go on Dane Brewer's big board, I believe he has Brazzell in the 90s. Yeah, 96th overall prospect. So this pick I love. This pick I would have went potentially with if you fall. You know, I definitely would have went with him if he fell to 91. He wasn't going to. AJ Halsey, damn good player. The Bills just brought him in, I believe, for a pre-draft visit, their top 30 visit. And I believe so did Carolina. And I wouldn't have taken him at 51 because I took Thieneman. But I like him for sure. Like him for sure. Uh-oh, 50 Detroit is in, so I'm on the clock. I am on the clock. Detroit's going to take Derek Moore. Okay. Edge rusher out of Michigan. What do we got here? What do I want to do? What do I want to do with this Panther pick? Interesting.
Panthers, Packers, Seahawks, Eagles.
I'm going to go. All right, what do you think I should do? Lee Hunter, or I was thinking about Jeremy Bernard.
Oh, I like Bernard.
You like Bernard?
Yeah, I
He's
like
good?
Bernard.
Or Chris Bell or CJ Allen.
Ooh, red dot?
Red dot? That's what
Or
I'm thinking.
green dot or whatever?
They could just bring in Devin Lloyd, though. Do I need to make it that big of an
No, I think you go Bernard.
Bernard. Give Bryce another weapon.
Yeah, give Bryce another
That's
weapon.
fire. Did he play with Bryce at all?
I don't think they
crossed over,
did.
but roll Tide. Let me see what player comp is there. See if he would fit. Yeah, Godwin. Yeah, Godwin and Jarvis Landry. Yeah, I'll take that. That's perfect.
So your second Panthers
Boom.
pick?
Second Panthers pick. It's a fun one.
Here it is.
And there it is. Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver out of Alabama. Going 51 to Carolina there. 6'1", good frame. Here's our scouting report on him. Reliable wide receiver who can line up inside and out. Solid athletic profile. Great hands and improved production every single year. Won't be a massive threat going deep or in contested catch situations. But don't worry, you got Tet for that. I'm not going to worry too much about that there. Plus, Jalen Coker can go down the field and get you down vertical too. 862 yards last year. Like I said, reliable hands. 1 drop and 102 targets. Less than a 1% drop rate. 7 touchdowns on the year that he was catching from Ty Simpson. And who knows? Maybe he made Ty Simpson look a lot better than people thought, as he produced pretty well at the combine. Not crazy in the 40-yard dash for 4.8. It could be a little bit better there, but the shuttle drill was fine. His vertical was decent enough too. Broad jump's great. Like he's athletic enough to perform at the next level. So that's where the Panthers go with 51. They go Dylan Thieneman and Jeremy Bernard at 19 and 51.
That's a really good first 2 rounds for the Panthers.
Yeah, that's fun stuff.
I mean, Thieneman feels like this year's Dejean a little bit.
Yeah. It definitely feels like the Dejean of the draft.
Not just because they're white, but I feel like they just really kind of play the same way.
Yeah.
Both real heavy hitters.
Yeah, good combo of coverage and tackling ability.
And anytime you can take, an Alabama receiver, I think that's probably a good idea.
All right, so 52 is in now as well to the Packers.
Let's peep that. Keep having to refresh my.
That's all good. Where does Zerline compare Bernard to? Robert Woods. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Maybe another guy that fell a little bit farther than
we
thought he was
it
going
definitely
to.
fell a little bit here. Zion Young, edge rusher to Missouri. He goes 52 to the Packers.
Alper wasn't happy about
The
that.
37th overall selection, overall player in this draft per Dane Brugler.
I just heard Alper scream, "Damn it, Joey!"
Yeah.
So he clearly wanted him.
Yep.
Let's run through this real quick.
Yes, we can run through this real quick because we are doing a 20% discount site-wide right now at chatsports.com/merch. We have a ton of gear available on there. If you want to rep the brand, get some today. We have hoodies, we have tees, we have hats, sizes, colors, all different ones available at this link right here. And it's a 20% off site-wide discount. So there's everything on our merch website is 20% off. Chatsports.com/merch to get yours right now. That link is going to be clickable down in the description of today's stream and in the live chat right now. Get yourself swagged out with some Chat Sports merch. Big deal going on, 20% off. Link is going in the chat right now. Boom.
Some fresh stuff, man. I really like the hoodie.
The hoodie's hard. The hoodie is hard.
Nice comfy material as well. Let's take a look at the big board here.
Yeah, who's on the big board? Who's still available?
Let me refresh this.
Not like the Bills will have the opportunity to get any of these guys, but they're out there. Cassius Howell, still there. A guy who I was considering taking at 26. He's still in there in the 50s. We got Ty Simpson still on the board, so second quarterback hasn't gone off yet. Chris Bell, a player I'm keen on for the Buffalo Bills. He's coming off of a torn ACL, but I think he's slipping a little bit too far here. His skill set is awesome. Gabe Akis, edge rusher at Illinois. He's fallen a little bit. Jadarian Price is there, other running back at Notre Dame. Caleb Banks, the player I was considering for Carolina there at 51. Keontae Scott, and then Caron Crawford there to round things out on the top 8 of our big board currently.
As pick number 53
and there he goes.
Cassius Howell.
Cassius Howell, that's a great ad for Seattle. It's a classic. He falls down. John Schneider scoops him up, and he's going to be a Pro Bowler.
I mean, look at that frame. Goodness gracious.
He's jacked. He is cut up. I'm not going to lie. 11.5 sacks last year. He was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, man. It was undeniable stuff. Flashes great pass rush juice off of the edge. Has a knack for getting his hands up and knock down passes, and doesn't possess great size, and stopping the run is not going to be his strong suit. Look, he's not going to set the edge in the run game, but he can get to the quarterback, no doubt about it. He falls all the way to 53 to Seattle there, and
it was their first pick of the draft.
It was their first pick of the draft down there at 53. They traded down all the way from 32 to 53.
But they also have pick 64.
And they got 64 coming up very, very soon. So
yeah.
No picks for me until 83, so I'm a whole round away.
Yeah.
'83 and then 91 will be how we round things out.
So you got the Eagles, Chargers, Jags, and Bears.
I think I have dominated in the Panthers department so far. Bills, like, kind of is what it is. Like, we had to take a guy, and that was just one of my guys on the board there. And I just didn't have a trade down partner. I would have traded down to, 34 or something like that. I'm not so sure that the Cardinals would have done that deal.
Haven't seen a trade in like 20 picks.
Haven't seen a trade in a good while. Eagles, Chargers, Jags, and Bears on the way soon. Let's go.
We got to be getting our picks in quicker than this.
We do got to get our picks in a little bit quicker. We're only halfway through, and we're an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
How many picks is 100? Was there 96 picks in the first 3 rounds? Or are there compensatory picks?
Oh, I hope we're not.
I'm pretty sure there are comp picks in the 3rd round too.
I don't know if we're doing them.
We'll see. Let's see. Look at the NFL draft order.
Come on, who's got this pick? It's
100.
Chase.
100 picks. So only 4 comp picks in round 3. I'm sure they'll be done.
What's Chase thinking about here?
What is Chase thinking about here? Taking forever. There it is.
Oh, interesting.
Keontae Scott, safety out of Miami. 54th overall to the Eagles. They shore up their safety room after picking Andrew Makuba on day 2 of the draft last year. They get another safety here after the departure of Reed Blankenship. Dane Brugger with this on Keontae Scott. Scott offers a unique blend of quick processing and decisive speed that makes him a natural fit as an attacking nickel, although some schemes might view him as too specialized outside of some packages, along with on special teams. He can give an NFL defense meaningful snaps in the right situations. The Eagles make their pick at 54. On to 55 now with the LA Chargers. LA Chargers on the clock.
I think it's always a decent idea to just take a player on a great defense in college. Like, if there's ever you need a tiebreaker between a couple guys, You take a guy from Miami. You take a guy from, Indiana's defense, something like that.
Yeah.
Never a bad idea.
Yeah, Texas Tech's defense. Some out there.
It's a classic strategy I implement in fantasy football if I'm trying to decide between two guys.
Probably take the better team, the guy on the better team.
Yeah.
The team's going to have a higher floor for scoring on a weekly basis. Yeah, I oftentimes get myself into trouble, like taking my RB2 from like one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like a couple years ago, I took Zamir White as my RB2. I'm like, I don't even think he made it to week 4.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Aston Ginty last year. Amazing talent, but the team was so bad that, he still finished as RB12 last year.
Yeah, but on the per game basis, he played every game. Like it wasn't that good.
I'm pretty pumped about his potential this year under Kubiak.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to add more offensive line help, I bet, in this draft. They didn't, though, so far with Mitchell Renz. But 55th overall pick is in, and there his slide ends. Chris Bell, wide receiver out of Louisville. Great blend of size and speed here, and he could take a slant route 75 yards to the house while bouncing off multiple tackles, man. He's really, really good after the catch. Provides solid enough route running ability. Not great in that regard yet, but he has just had the dog mentality to be able to get better in a lot of areas, in my opinion. 6 touchdowns for Louisville last year before he went down with a torn ACL in November. It's eliminated him through the pre-draft process, but he seems to be ahead of schedule in his recovery, so we'll see what that looks like here for his availability into training camp. So the Chargers so far have gone and taken 22nd overall TJ Parker, 55th overall Chris Bell, 2 ACC guys on each side of the football here, with Jacksonville Jaguars pick at 56 all of a sudden is in 2. What do we got going here?
Let's see who the Jags elect for here.
Who do the Jags run with?
This is their first pick. So
their first pick of the draft, that is right.
Ooh, and they're going to take a high upside guy.
Yep. I think this is a very Jags pick. Caleb Banks, they don't give a shit about the foot injury. Look, he isn't going to get to the quarterback at a crazy high rate. Even though his pass rush win rate was pretty high for nose tackles last year, he's going to plug up the middle of that field for against the run. 6'6", 327. I just wouldn't want to, spill a drink on him in the bar, I'll tell you that much. Dane Brugler saying this on Caleb Banks. Banks is a rare combination of size, raw power, and big man twitch, all of which led to big-time flashes and glimpses of his ceiling. However, the absence of a healthy senior season complicated his projection, and his draft grade will depend on each team's appetite for risk. It's a big deal. Like it's for a guy who is already such a massive player to have nagging foot injuries, lower body injuries already. It's not great heading into the NFL draft, but I can't say I didn't think about him at 51. He goes up the board at 56 to I forget who just picked.
It was the
Jacksonville Jaguars. That's right. Best available right now. No more Ty Simpson continues to slide. Who's taking Ty? Anybody in the next 5 picks we could see doing it?
I mean, Atlanta
could. Atlanta could.
Definitely could see Atlanta doing it.
Tua and Penix in the building? Maybe.
They've got the most patchwork quarterback room in the league.
Yeah. They're the Jets of last year. Where is Justin Fields right now?
Kansas City.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
He may start week 1.
That's right.
I wouldn't say it's likely.
Yeah, you think Mahomes will be ready?
I do think he's going to be ready. I feel like I have a little bit of more knowledge of that injury since I just went through it.
Yeah.
And I do think he's going to be ready. I mean, I was ready within 10 months, and I don't have
top-end training and professional doctors and all that stuff around the clock 24/7. Yeah, I'm sure he's attacking that rehab like nobody else.
Yes. Who's
producing Carl Knight? We got my guy Parker in the building, rocking and rolling with us. He's been helping me out a lot recently. He's been killing the game. New producer here at Chat Sports, so shout out to him.
Fix this real quick.
I love that. I didn't realize. I like that. I like the new producer cam too. It's bigger. It's much bigger. There we go. My guy Parker in the building. He's been chiming in from time to time, dropping some takes, dropping some knowledge. I got Carl Knight is a beast.
Had my mic on for like the last 45 minutes. I just wasn't on the screen.
Yeah, it's all good. Rocking and rolling here in the mock draft. Got a couple of picks that have come in here. Trading Stukes, safety / corner out of Arizona, goes 57th to the Bears. 58th overall pick is also in now too. San Francisco making something happen. We'll see what that is. Ooh, Joe, there we go. A little popular, I'd say, magazine cover athlete type of guy.
Yeah.
Jennings Dunker with his wild hairdo and look there, Iowa offensive lineman, usually that works out.
Yeah,
usually.
Iowa guard, Iowa center, Iowa tackle, Iowa tight end. If there's a big looking, strong, quick white dude on the Iowa Hawkeyes, he's probably going to work out.
Probably going to work. They have a proven track record of translating to the next level.
Yeah. I actually did a mock yesterday with Cullen, and he had them taking Jennings Dunker at 56. So
the Jags?
He was pretty spot on, only 2 picks away.
Yeah, only 2 picks
from
away.
where he had him.
They'll go to San Fran. 59 to Atlanta. Looks like it's in. And will they go quarterback? We shall see.
Let's see. They are going to go.
They're going to go with Lee Hunter. Big boy at a Tech. 6'3", 318, a monster. Not exactly the 6'6", 330 frame of Caleb Banks, but he certainly fits in well in the run game. And for nose tackles in 2025, his pass rush win rate was a lot better than a guy like Caden McDonald's. Although, albeit he's not going to give you too much production rushing the passer, he provides a little bit more versatility than you guys think here. Active in run support, good length, and shows some great shedding ability too. 3-down ability will determine his NFL ceiling, and he needs to polish his technique a little bit more and not rely so much on the bully ball. 6'3", 318 is not going to move everybody off their spot at the next level here. So Lee Hunter goes in the second round of this draft to Atlanta.
Another one of those guys, kind of what I was mentioning earlier, just an exceptional defense last year.
Yep.
You had Lee Hunter, you had Jacob Rodriguez, who got taken by Smitty in this mock draft, and then also, obviously, David Bailey, who's a monster as well.
Yeah, Romelio Heights still on the board here. He was solid for them, too. I was trying to think of the offensive lineman that I was scouting a couple days ago, and he mauled Romelio Height at the Senior Bowl. I forget who we were talking about. We mocked him, and he was nasty at the Senior Bowl. And the only reason I knew that was because we did a Senior Bowl standouts video, draft targets from the Senior Bowl. I forget who that was, but he mauled Romelio Height.
We got another Bears pick.
This is the Bills one. This is the Bills. They're
going to go
second
with
rounder.
Gabe Akis.
Gabe Akis. Yep, that's a Bears draft target for sure. They want to go edge at some point in this draft. They get one here, as Akis is Brewers' 40th ranked player or something like that.
Super
49th. But yeah, he was super productive for Illinois. 11 sacks, 41 pressures, 13.5 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles. Just putting up video game numbers down there in the Big Ten. Dane Brugger with this on him. Akis won't consistently outrace NFL tackles, but his power, proficient technique, and aggressive play demeanor shouldn't translate well to the next level. He projects as a rotational edge defender at this point.
Interesting.
Huh. That's funny. Look at this. Danny Dennis Sutton out of Penn State. Edge rusher who I'm not going to lie to you guys, not too familiar with. I've heard good things about him. My guy Harrison Graham seems to love him going into the NFL draft. I just don't know all too much. He had 8.5 sacks last year at Penn State, 50 pressures, so he got closer to the quarterback a lot more often. Some of these pass rushers that we've been seeing going off the board recently. Interesting cat, 6'5", 256. He's a giant human being, and he put up big-time numbers for the Nittany Lions last year. And a trade is here. Wow. The Jacksonville Jaguars move up to 62 for 2/3.
Yeah.
88 and 100 going to Denver. Jags picking at 62.
Interesting move for the Jags. I mean, just picked at 56 and back up.
Must have another guy that they're big on.
I mean, we'll see who they end up taking here, but I feel like I really like this value for the Broncos.
Yeah, it's good value for the Broncos. I mean, you move down 26 slots, but you pick up a pick that's right around that same range too.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're in this range of guys, unless there's, maybe somebody very specific, like maybe a DK Metcalf type of fall on a day 2, that you move up for, but I think I'd rather have the 2 picks in this range.
Absolutely. So now we're at this point 18 or 29 picks away from the Bills. So we're about a round out from the Bills. We are about 20 picks out from the Panthers being back up.
Who are they going to take? Who do the Jags like here? Let's think. What do they need?
Who do the Jags like?
They could use... Definitely not a receiver.
Yeah, a receiver, because he said Brian Thomas Jr.'s on the block.
A lot going on in production right now.
A lot is going on.
Apparently, Mitch is trying to break the rules.
What is that?
He tried to make a trade during the draft, which was against the rules.
Really? Wow, wow, wow.
And the pick is in, and they're going to go with Kieran Crawford.
Kieran Crawford out of Auburn. Okay, so the Jags boosting that defensive profile a little bit in this draft in the second round here, as Dane Brugler says this about the 6'4" pass rusher out of the Auburn Tigers. Crawford is still learning what it means to be a technician, but he is a switched-up defender with the complete skills and intriguing skill set to complement right away, or to contribute right away. He offers role versatility and will fit 3-4 or 4-3 looks. So there we go. There we go.
I don't really know too much about him.
I can't say I know too much about him either.
One of those guys that almost doesn't even feel like a real player.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like a real player almost.
You just hear about him right on the day of the draft, and everyone's saying, "Oh, this guy's really good." And it's like,
yeah,
okay.
He flashed on tape last year. You didn't watch it, brother. It doesn't exist. Did the Bears trade 60? No, they did. They picked at 60. They picked at 60. They went with Gabe Akis, edge rusher out of Illinois.
So Cullen really trying to shore up the trenches for Jacksonville.
No doubt. No doubt. That front is looking a lot different now. They just gave Trayvon Walker a big extension. They don't really have much going on the interior of that D-line. And their edge on the other end needs more help. I honestly couldn't tell you. Or Josh Hines Allen's still there.
Yeah, he's really good.
Maybe they're going to run a 3-4, and they'll have Crawford run a 3-4 defensive end or potentially outside linebacker spot.
Here's a guy we just talked about.
Romelio Height goes there at 63 to Texas Tech, or to the Patriots out of Texas Tech.
Once again, just a guy on a really good defense last year.
Yeah.
That game, I don't think I'll ever forget that game when BYU came to town and they were both undefeated. McAfee was at the game in Lubbock, and I don't even think BYU scored.
Yeah. They BYU had a tough time moving the football at all in that game.
Yeah, they were talking up that Bear something Meyer, I don't know. And yeah, it was a rough day for them. Last pick of the second round.
What do we got here? Dorian Price. Seahawks lose Kenneth Walker. They go get another big-time, big-play guy in Price out of the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, that's interesting. Denison, Texas. So we got 2 Dentons and 1 Denison.
Where is Denison? That's nearest here, right?
I think so. Honestly, I'm not entirely
I'm
sure
100%
exactly
sure about
where
that.
it is. But nonetheless,
here we go. So the round 2 has concluded. What do we have to get to here?
Let's see what the Seahawks have done so far.
Seahawks taking. I like this for Seattle. This is a good draft so far.
Cassius Howell, Jadarian Price.
Yeah. How about some big-time contributors from 2 big-time programs who made the college football or playoff? I guess Jadarian Price did 2 years ago, but.
And, Price is one of those guys that could be very, very good and feel like a steal, or it could backfire for you. Just had really good efficiency in college, but obviously playing behind Jeremiah Love, you don't really know exactly what you're going to get when he's the number 1 option.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I was talking to Moose, our Falcons and Broncos host here at Chat Sports, and he is a huge Notre Dame fan, and he said, without a doubt, Jadarian Price is the number 2 back in the class.
Okay.
So
Okay.
take that with a grain of salt, but
Interesting.
something to note. You can hit the big board.
We can hit the big board real quick because now all of a sudden, like, guys may be available for Carolina to go out there and Buffalo to go out there and take. And some interesting players still out there. Some wide receivers are moving down the board. So, like, I'm thinking Bills might have a chance to get a weapon here at 91. Although there's a lot of picks left to go until we get there. I'm sure a lot of these guys will be off the board, including Ty Simpson, Malachi Fields, Antonio Williams, Keith Abney, who I really like as a day 2 corner in this draft. So we're going to be getting back on the clock in just a moment here with pick 65. First pick of the 3rd round is going to be, I would assume, the Raiders, right?
If you guys are just now tuning in and you haven't subscribed yet, we got more draft coverage.
We do have more draft coverage coming. Pre-draft stuff coming the rest of this week and next. And then we'll have picks videos for every single pick next week.
So we're entering the last round of this Chat Sports mock draft right now. Bills have what, pick 91, you said?
Pick 91, and the Panthers have pick 83.
Okay. So, are you guys doing, just 3 rounds.
We're doing the 3 rounds.
Just 3 rounds.
Arizona on the clock here. Where will they go with the first pick of round 3?
So, it'll be Arizona, Tennessee, Las Vegas, Philly, and then Houston again.
Yep.
Cardinals. I mean, I feel like they have to go Simpson right now in round 3. I mean, there was talks. I mean, now these might be ludicrous, but there's been talks that they may actually take Simpson at 3 in the draft. So in this mock, if he falls all the way to 65, I find it hard to believe they wouldn't at least give him a shot.
Agree.
Pick is in.
Pick is in at 65. Who's it going to be for Arizona here?
Called it.
There it is. Ty Simpson off of the board. And the Cardinals don't even have to do any trading up or anything like that to go out there and do that. Stick and pick at 65. And look, Ty Simpson probably is a 3rd-round quarterback at the end of the day. Like in a draft where you look at like last year, like he wasn't going to go anywhere near the 1st round. Maybe some people say he would have gone above Jackson Dart. I'm not one of those people, but he goes off here at 65 to the Cardinals. I'd imagine when draft day actually rolls around, he goes a lot higher than this pick here.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not the biggest fan of him, but like, what do you think, Park?
I mean, I'll say this. I think through, 4 to 5 weeks of the season, he was arguably the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. So the fact that you're able to get him, in the 3rd round, whenever I talk to Sperry about it, who's done a ton of research on Ty Simpson, it seems like he's a really good processor, and he knows how to read a defense. I think maybe the physical attributes weigh him down a little bit.
He's not much of a runner.
Not much of a runner. Not very big. Not very tall. He is accurate.
Yeah. Who does he kind of project out like, I feel like?
I mean, he has the frame of like a Drew Brees, maybe a little bit taller. I think I'm trying to think of maybe a little bit like a less mobile Bryce Young.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking Jared Goff maybe too.
Like a much shorter Jared Goff.
Yeah, Goff's like 6'4".
Maybe 6'6". Yeah.
Oh, he's 6'6".
Yeah, Goff's really tall.
They say 6'4" here. I guess like a cross between Bryce Young and Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Which I guess is worth the 3rd-round pick here. I'd say.
Absolutely. I mean, if you got a Jared Goff level player in round 3 at quarterback for the Cardinals, that's a huge win. Goff's no world beater or anything, but he has his moments.
Tennessee's pick at 66 is in, so now 67th overall selection, I would assume, is not the New York Giants. That would be the Houston Texans, because that was who the Giants traded with for Jackson Dart.
It's the Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans are 66. They picked Malachi Fields, getting Cam Ward a new weapon, wide receiver out of Notre Dame there. And then 67 to the Raiders is in. Okay, so that's like that that inverse order of the top couple of picks.
Yeah. Fields is another guy I know nothing about, so I got to look and see.
Fields is good tape, man. Like his big plays flash, but the volume really wasn't there, right? He only had 36 catches in the season last year, and look, albeit Notre Dame was a run-heavy offense, C.J. Carr wasn't putting up 50 attempts a game for the Fighting Irish, but he was damn good. Malachi Fields was, and he stayed healthy, which was good. He had 5 touchdowns, didn't have a drop problem either. Good stuff. And I would like if Cam Ward had a weapon like that, big frame. Zachariah Branch at 67. I thought there was a chance the Bills could get him at 91. I would have thought about it. He goes 67 to the Raiders here, getting Mendoza a weapon that he can get the ball to in space. And I actually think this is a good pick by the Raiders because of that specifically. A lot of Fernando Mendoza's reads last year were first read plays, were around the line of scrimmage kind of stuff. And this is a guy in Zachariah Branch who can do a lot with the ball in his hands. A 4.35 40 at the combine here, 38-inch vert, 105 broad jump's damn good. He actually put up 20 bench reps too, which I thought was pretty impressive. His splits, 10-yard split is damn good. His get-off speed's great, but it's this run after a catch ability. It's the making guys miss. Like that's really what you're getting with Zachariah Branch here. So the Raiders right now kind of making plays on all facets of the football field. They go quarterback, obviously, to get their guy, their franchise quarterback for the next, hopefully decade plus. Christian Miller to address the interior of the defensive line, and then Zachariah Branch to address wide receiver and add a new weapon to that room.
Yeah, I mean, Branch is electric after the catch.
I would have maybe gone Elijah Surratt to pair up with Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. You know who I love in next year's draft?
Who's that?
Charlie Becker.
Charlie Becker is he's a tight end.
No, he's the white boy on Indiana.
Oh,
on
he's
the
there.
Outside.
He's their white boy wide receiver.
He is baby Alec Pierce.
Baby Pierce.
Baby Alec Pierce. He catches absolutely everything. He's unreal.
Okay. Oh my goodness, what are we doing? What are we doing, Philly? Trying to reinvent the wheel. Sam Roosh, 68th overall pick, tight end out of Stanford.
You guys are still hanging around. Grade this one.
Grade the pick.
Sam Roosh.
Who is that?
Call Knight saying, is Skylar Bell or Ted Hurst still available? If so, those players I would look into.
Oh, I will be taking Ted Hurst at 91 if he's there.
Yeah.
Because of everything that I said. Obviously, I'm 100% taking him.
Carl, both of those guys are indeed available, and Ted Hurst is a target for the Buffalo Bills at 91 if he makes it.
Ted Hurst is a big-time target for us. Skylar Bell, I consider it. I just don't like UConn.
Curious to see what all the picks the Eagles have made so far. Let's see. Eagles.
Eagles going with some very niche picks here, I would say.
Ihanacher, which I feel like 95% of people that are going to watch the draft are not going to know who he is.
Yep.
Nobody's going to know who Keontae Scott, Danny Davis.
Even though he was on Miami, there's still nobody's going to know him. They only know Bain and Mesidor.
Yeah. Nobody knows any of these guys.
No. They're very art house picks. They're like this they're like cinephile picks. Like you drop your top 4 on Letterboxd, and it's a French film from the 60s. It really speaks to me. Like this is what the vibe I get from this draft.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you ever seen Seven Samurai? Yeah, that's in my Letterboxd top 4. It's my top 4 picks in the draft here.
Okay, so this is 2 back-to-back interesting ones.
We got back-to-back picks here, and Surratt goes right off the board there at 69. Very nice to the Houston Texans. And then Keith Abney right after at pick 70. 2 back-to-back selections that I love personally. Browns kind of cleaning up in this draft. I won't lie to you. They get bookend tackles. They get where'd they go in round 1?
I'm about to pull it up.
Yeah. The Browns picks. They got Omar Cooper.
Yeah, Omar. There it is.
There it is.
Get this up.
Boom. What did the Browns choose? They got a Spencer Fano and then got another tackle. Omar Cooper Jr. going to Cleveland there. So, honestly, surrounding whatever quarterback they wind up with here in the next couple of seasons with some solid talent. A winner in Omar Cooper, 2 bookend tackles, and they get a bona fide starting cornerback day one, Keith Abney. I like this draft from Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, taking 2 tackles is pretty interesting, especially considering they just traded for Titus Howard.
Yeah.
So, one of these 2 guys is going to have to win that left tackle spot.
No doubt.
And then one of them is just going to end up being a swing tackle.
Yep.
Which is, I don't know if I feel the best about that, considering with a first-round pick, you kind of want a day one starter.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he's really trying to shore up the offensive line. Maybe he moves Fano inside, have him play guard.
Mm-hmm. I could see that going down. These people say Fano could play guard, right?
I actually have heard him being maybe even mocked as a center.
Really? Interesting. And the Bills can't get Big Citrus. He goes off the board. Dominique Orange, D tackle out of Iowa State at 71. It was a long shot for him to fall all the way there, but I would have loved if he did. He would have been an immediate selection for me for Buffalo. Damn. All right. Look, I addressed a starting need for the Buffalo Bills with my first pick. Jacob Rodriguez is going to start out there. We're 20 picks away from Buffalo's next selection. 12 picks away until I got to make one for Carolina.
So right now, best available guy is Antonio Williams, followed by Caleb Tiernan, Max Clare, Dejon Stribling, Ted Hurst at number 6. So we'll see if he's going to be able to fall another 20 picks down to Buffalo. Also, Josiah Trotter, who I'm pretty sure we've mocked to Buffalo before.
Yeah, he unfortunately with the Rodriguez pick, I'm not really thinking about him too much, but I would consider it.
Very interesting stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, which pick are we at? 92. So, next couple of picks coming up. We got Bengals, we got Saints.
Okay.
Immediately after that, we got
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Dolphins. Hawks with that trade with the Steelers. And then the Tampa Bay Bucks.
So people are starting to go pretty quick now. I'm pretty sure we got 2 back-to-back picks now.
We do. Cincinnati and New Orleans. Kyle Lewis, linebacker, safety hybrid out of Pittsburgh. He's a damn good cover. A little bit undersized for the backer spot, but he's got good speed for that position. He had 2 picks in 2025, and he'll probably play closer into the box at the next level. Mike Washington Jr., running back out of Arkansas, goes round 3 to the Saints here. When they go out there and pay Travis Etienne, they don't pay, but they keep Alvin Kamara, right? He's still on the team.
Yes.
And they go out there and get a day 2 running back. I'm not so sure if that's the move, if you ask me.
And to be completely honest, guys, the only reason that Mike Washington is in a Saints uniform right now is because our Saints now host went to Arkansas.
That is a big reason why. He also just said in Slack that Alvin Kamara is now on the trade block.
Which is also against the rules in the mock draft.
That's correct. So we got Mike Washington Jr. Go watch the tape for him. Awesome. Got a weird fumbling problem, though. I think that's like the thing that's really got him mocked as low as he is.
A little bit of a Tiki Barber type.
Yeah, a little Tiki Barber type. Big playability, that's for sure. Antonio Williams, first overall player here. 59th overall per our guy Tom Downey, but we are well into the 70s at this point, and he's still on the board. Caleb Tiernan, tackle out of Northwestern. He's still there. Max Clare, tight end at Ohio State, is there, as Dejon Stribling as well. Wide receiver out of Ole Miss. And we'll see what I end up doing.
If we still got any real ones in the chat right now.
Yeah, let us know.
Who's your favorite day 2 NFL prospect?
Who's your favorite day 2 guy? Guy that could be picked on round 2 or 3? Let me know who that is.
As Kansas City's pick is in, and here goes the number 1 guy on the big board off the board.
Yep, off the board he goes. Antonio Williams, a new weapon for Patrick Mahomes out there.
Chiefs really been unable to hit on wide receiver prospects in the last couple years.
So they wait until round 3, so it's not that big of a hurt investment.
Yeah, obviously, Xavier Worthy hasn't exactly panned out for them, and drafted Jalen Royals last year in round 4. He couldn't get on the field at all.
Yeah, no doubt. What else do we have here? So Josiah Trotter is still there.
I feel like that'd be a huge steal in round 3.
I agree. Late round 3 pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what the Panthers.
This is the Chiefs draft right now. From,
Not bad. Not bad at all.
David Bailey, Colton Hood, Antonio Williams. Yeah, that would be scary.
I'm going to see what the couple of Panthers meetings here. Ooh. I like that pick.
Oh, and your boy's off the board.
Oh, no! Ted Hurst! He's not real! Nobody's ever watched him play, but he's going to the 3rd round of this mock draft. He was going to be my pick at 91. Damn it! Savannah, Georgia native, going to the Georgia State. Had 1,000 yards last year, 6 tuds. Big body. Big time combine, 4.4 40. 36-inch vert. A 113 broad jump. Covers a lot of ground. He's pretty damn good. Except, I have no idea if he's actually good because nobody's ever seen him play. Nobody's seen him. He's a mystery.
Seahawks on the board, followed by Buccaneers,
Yep.
Colts, Falcons, Ravens. I mean, have the Ravens taken a receiver yet? Let's see. Let's see what the Baltimore Ravens have done. Have they gotten Lamar a weapon yet?
They did. They got a Jordan Tyson.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And Eli Stowers. So they went back-to-back receivers.
That's right.
Interesting. It's the pick for the Seahawks.
Pick for the Seahawks here is Davison Igbinosun.
Ohio State.
Damn, my pick's coming up very soon here. I'm 6 picks away. I got to figure out who I want.
Davison Igbinosun. I don't even know a single thing about that guy.
Don't know much about him either, I'll be honest with you guys.
Another potential fake player.
Another potential fake player.
So past few picks, a lot of guys have gotten kind of taken off the big board here. So this is a look at the updated big board.
No doubt about that.
Trotter moving up to number 4.
Guys are going to start being potentially available for Buffalo here.
Oh, now they have him at 3.
Uh-oh. Somebody go off the board just now?
Brennan Thompson moves into the top 8. That's a real burner right there out of Mississippi State.
Oh, boy.
And the reason that the big board changed is because the Buccaneers.
Ooh, the Buccaneers take Max Clare from Ohio State with this selection. So they get Baker, another weapon here, as they look to bounce back from a rather disappointing season.
Scouting report on Clare. Quality athlete with fluid movement. Able to create more separation than most tight ends. That's the modern NFL, people.
Yep.
Receiving tight ends. Not a great blocker before Ohio State, but took a step forward last year. Interesting. Interesting stuff.
Panthers. I got to make that pick here soon.
Take a look at the stats. Only 2 drops last year. 43 receptions. It's pretty good. They'll get it done.
Not bad.
That will get it done. All right.
We're like here for corners. Anybody good? Corner just went off the board there.
Looks like upcoming picks is Colts,
Yep.
Falcons,
Colts pick is in, too.
Ravens, Jags. Colts pick is in, apparently. Let's go peep that.
Let's go peep that. Let's see what it's all about.
And it's looking like another potential fake player.
Chandler Rivers, not real. Cornerback out of Duke. When is that? Has there ever been a cornerback out of Duke in the NFL ever? Auto-generated.
I almost said Maxwell Hairston, but he went to Kentucky.
Yeah, he did. That is how he looked last year, but different college basketball blue blood. Damn, I don't know what I should do.
Another pick in. Oscar
we got?
Delp to the
Oscar
Falcons.
Delp went? No, that was an option for Carolina at 83. But at the same time, I took a pass catcher already.
Picks are starting to fly off the board.
Picks
here.
are starting to fly. 80 is in.
And pick 80 is going to be
Jake Slaughter, center out of Iowa.
Jake Slaughter.
There you go. Oh, center out of Florida. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Dunker from earlier. Looks like 81's about to be in.
So this is going to be the Jags up next now.
Uh-huh.
Last two picks, the Jags took Caleb Banks.
Yep.
And then, did they take? No, they didn't take Akis. It was
81 is in as well to Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Oh man, finesse.
No! No. Now I have to pivot.
Smitty,
I got to pivot. I'm about to be on the clock.
Smitty didn't want Josiah Trotter at all.
No.
You could tell Smitty really hates Josiah Trotter.
I got to pivot. Shit.
So Vikings on the clock and then Carolina.
Okay.
Mariah just tuning in saying, Smitty, who do you want at pick 26? In this mock draft, we ended up taking Jacob Rodriguez.
82 Minnesota is in.
82 Minnesota. Let's see who they're going to take. 82 Minnesota. They are going to go with Sam Hecht.
Okay.
So Panthers are now on the clock.
All right. I'm going to go with
Let's see.
interesting pick for me. I think it fits what the Panthers want to do, though.
Pick 82 or 83 coming in just a couple seconds.
I'm a fan of this one. With the 83rd overall pick,
Carolina Panthers select Malik Muhammad.
Malik Muhammad. Great size and speed profile. Gets comp to Nate Wiggins out there with the Baltimore Ravens. Like, I just think this is going to be a solid guy long term for Carolina on the boundary. When a guy like Mike Jackson, who has been really good for them, his contract's up at the end of the year. Dane Broker saying this about Muhammad. Muhammad can be out-physicaled at times, but he plays with good reaction quickness and route instincts, which helps him stay attached in man or zone. He projects a starter with shades of Greg Newsome there.
What do you guys think about this pick right here? Grade the pick of Malik Muhammad to the Panthers.
It was a bit of a panic pick by me. I can't lie.
He lays the boom now.
Does lay the boom.
Okay, I figured. Maybe a little bit like Malik Mustafa from the 49ers.
Yeah. You'd hope so. So for the Bills' second pick, which is coming up very, very soon all of a sudden, who do we want? Who do we want? Who do we want for at 91? Who should the Bills pick at 91? As Green Bay's pick is in at 84.
Who should the Bills take, guys? Comment your answer down below.
Dalen Everett at 84 to the Packers. And Joey Peterson slacked me with some obscenities directed at me.
Oh, he wasn't a fan
He
of...
wasn't a fan of me taking Malik Muhammad.
Interesting. Packers report host is getting toxic live on the Chat Sports mock.
Yeah, it's very toxic. I'm not going to lie.
James says DT or DE. So he wants...
I know where I'm going with this one. I think. I
James
don't think
wants
he hasn't been taken yet.
Another pick is in. Steelers are going to take Bud Clark from TCU.
Ooh, I was thinking about him for Buffalo. So now he's off my board there.
We'll see.
Looking at some.
Bill's pick is coming up really soon.
Bill's pick is coming up really soon.
If you guys were curious of what the big board is looking like.
Okay.
Tiernan, Dejon Stribling, Tyler Onyedim, Zakee Wheatley, Travis Burke, Garrett
Yep.
Nussmeier.
Yep. Garrett Nussmeier is our number 6 player, really. Okay, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. D-tackle.
Oh, and this is another one of your guys you potentially liked for Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, I definitely loved him. Jalen Farmer. He gives at 86 to the Chargers there. Guard out of Kentucky. He was damn good, very durable over the past couple of years.
Farmer, great length and flashes really nice power. Just needs a little bit of developing as a pass protector. So, let's see. We are at pick 87 now.
Oh, my goodness. We're 5 away all of a sudden.
So we're moving up pretty quick. It's Commanders via Miami, Broncos via Jacksonville. All 4 of these picks are traded picks.
Really?
Eagles via Chicago, Dolphins via Houston.
Yeah, we didn't make any type of selections.
So 5 picks away.
I need... Who should I take here at 91?
Ask you guys again who you guys think the Bills should take in 91.
What do you guys got? You got a name for me? Everybody got a name for me?
The Commanders are going to go Logan Jones, center out of Iowa.
Okay. Logan Jones, center out of Iowa.
This is the second Iowa offensive lineman that's gone now after Jennings Dunker.
Mm-hmm.
Maria Hines says, I will take somebody who can stop the run.
Okay. We'll see if we get that.
I feel like the Commanders have had a lot of picks.
Let's see here.
Not as many as I thought. They got Mekhi Lemon. They stole the big citrus from us.
They did steal the big citrus from us, which is annoying.
Then,
87 is in. Yep, Logan Jones.
88 will probably be in any moment. See who the Broncos elect for. Who's Moosey want?
Who does Moosey want?
Who does Moosey want? It's been a pretty good stream.
It has been a pretty good stream so far.
I feel like it's going.
Who are the top prospects available? We could do that right now as we wait for 88. I don't know why it's not coming in yet.
Refresh this real quick. So, top guys right now, Caleb Tiernan, Dejon Stribling. We got Wheatley, Nussmeier.
Stribling does make me intrigued at 91. They haven't had a meeting pre-draft with them yet.
As the next pick is in, and it's going to be Jonah Coleman.
Ooh, Jonah Coleman, running back out of Washington. Okay.
17 total touchdowns last year. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. 17 touchdowns in college is quite a bit.
Huh.
So now, guys, the next few picks in this draft, it's the Eagles.
Man,
It's the Dolphins. It is your Buffalo Bills.
I am tweaking. I don't know if I should go with defensive tackle or wide receiver. What do you guys think? Should I go defensive tackle or wide receiver?
Spam DT for defensive tackle. Spam WR for wide receiver in the chat.
Problem is, Deshaun Stribling just does not pass the name test for me.
And there's a trade.
There's a trade?
And will if it low? Oh, it was the one from earlier.
Oh, look at this.
So Moro Ajomo to the Bears for a 3rd-round pick.
And now Philly on the clock, and Philly's pick is in at 89. Well, we'll see if one of my guys goes off the board here. I doubt it.
Philadelphia Eagles select Chris McClellan, and Smitty drops to his knees.
You're fucking me, right?
Unbelievable.
Yo, Chase, come on, man.
Chris McClellan.
Bro, I wanted him. Now I have to reassess again.
McClellan has the size and length to fit in several spots on the defensive line. Hey, guys, even though, it sucks that we can't get him in the mock, we might be able to get him in real life. So,
yeah, we might be able to get him in real life. I'm a fan.
That's why you watch the show now, kind of, get familiar with some of these day 2 guys. You can find rotational reps early in his career as a run stopper. Big uptick in pass production in 2025. So,
The Bills. They need more something.
Carl's saying defensive tackle or Skylar Bell. One more look at the big board for you guys.
90 for Miami is in. Who's going to be
updating?
I swear if they take Stribling, I'll freak out. I don't know if they did, though.
They did not. It's going to be Caleb Tiernan. Massive offensive tackle for the Dolphins. Take a little look at his scouting report right here.
Let's go.
As Smitty is getting the pick in right now for your Buffalo Bills. That will be revealed in just 1 second.
Let's do...
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Okay.
So here is a look at, some of the guys available right now. As the pick is going to be in here shortly. Who's it going to be? Who is it going to be for Buffalo?
The Bills with pick 91. The pick has been submitted.
It's loading. And here it is.
We got a Texas A&M Aggie, Tyler Onyedim, defensive tackle, to go plug up the middle of that defensive line. Got to go get some depth on the interior there, and this is one of the best players available at this spot, at this position. Let's talk about Tyler Onyedim here, what he could do for this Buffalo Bills team. Offers great length and uses it well too. Solid athleticism, tackling ability, and burst for a defensive tackle. Pass rush production isn't great, mainly due to a lack of a plan. So he's got to get a little bit more of a pass rush bag involved. He's really a guy who uses his strength to get the pass line of scrimmage here. He had 2.5 sacks and 17 pressures last year for Texas A&M, but I believe he projects much better as a run defender. And look, for a Bills run defense that's just not where you want it to be for the past half decade, then you know what? Then you go out and get a guy like Tyler Onyedim to shore up some of that and get him in the rotation here. Dane Brugler saying this about Onyedim. He might not have a true distinguishing trait, but he also doesn't have a fatal flaw that will be exposed by NFL competition. He projects best as a one-gap penetrator and dependable rotation piece. Not necessarily going to wow you at the NFL Combine or anything like that, but again, doesn't have any holes in his game. He's a guy who can contribute right away. So I think that he's a fine pick for the Buffalo Bills at 91. What do you guys think of the selection? Let me know down in the chat. ABCDRF, what would you give the pick? For D tackle, I was between him or Grayson Halton, but I decided to go with the guy who was a little bit higher on big boards there at 91.
Grade the pick, guys.
Grade the pick. A, B, C, D, or F for Buffalo there.
As this mock draft is starting to wind to an end here, we're reaching near the end of the third round, which is where we're going to conclude it. Because, I mean, if we win all 7 rounds, we'd be here all night.
Yeah, we'd be here all night.
And we were already here all last night.
A couple more picks have come in here, 91 and 92, 93, and 94.
Run through all those.
Run through all those real quick.
This thing will... I got to refresh it. I got to read only this every single time now. Here we go.
Zakee Wheatley, safety out of Penn State. He was a thought for me for Buffalo as well in the third round, but I decided to go with more of a need on the defensive line there. Look, he is damn good in terms of being a rangy safety. He goes to the Cowboys at 92. Deshaun Stribling at 93. Fell a little bit there to the Los Angeles Rams, and then they get 2 elite pass catchers in this draft, Stribling and Kenyon Sadiq in round 1. Jayshawn Barham goes 94th overall to the Miami Dolphins. They're picking up a Michigan Wolverine there to help along the edge. So 6 picks left. There's now 5 picks left because New England's pick at 95 is in.
Ooh, this is a guy I really like.
Oh, Jacoby Lane, huh?
I mean, this guy, if you don't know anything about Jacoby Lane, just go look up his highlights on YouTube. He makes some of the most spectacular catches you will ever see. See the scouting report here. Size and athletic ability are clearly there. Untapped potential if he can tap into his physicality more.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely, a good way to put it, I think. Struggles to separate and doesn't win in enough tight windows. Yes, that is definitely true. But he makes some incredible catches.
Agreed.
Super exciting player there.
Big body, big frame receiver.
If you just kind of, just got around to tuning into the live stream here today, these are the 2 selections that Smitty made for your Buffalo Bills today.
Let's go. Jacob Rodriguez and Tyler Onyedim. What do we think? What do we think?
Yeah, Rodriguez in the first. I don't think that's a reach at all.
I don't think it's a reach.
He was definitely being, I feel like, under-mocked a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
and look, at wide receiver, it was Onyedim or Stribling, and those are 2 guys who are, thought of in kind of the same vein. I understand it. Wide receiver is going to be picked at some point in this draft. I just thought, heading into round 4, you probably have better chance at picking up a solid wide receiver there than you do immediate defensive tackle.
I mean, Skylar Bell's still there as well.
Skylar Bell is still there too. And the Giants pick at 97 is in all of a sudden. Did we get to 96 anyway? What is 96? Who was picked there?
96
Seattle.
was Jalen Kilgore.
Oh, Jalen Kilgore, versatile chess piece there. No top-end speed on him, but he goes to the Seattle Seahawks, who can move him around the football field. Darrell Jackson Jr., Giants continue to fortify the interior of that defensive line after losing Dexter Lawrence. They get him out of Florida State there. No sacks really last year, but he plays in the interior. He's a big body, and he'll help stop the run, which has also been a problem for the New York Football Giants in recent memory.
So these are going to be the last few picks of this mock draft. We got the Eagles comp pick, Steelers comp pick, Broncos comp pick, and then are the Titans picking in this? I don't think they are, right? We're going to end it before that. Does it cap at 100?
Yeah, caps at 100. Titans are the first pick around 4.
As the Eagles pick at 98 is in, and they're going to go with the burner.
Brennan Thompson, speedy 5'9" receiver out of Mississippi State.
Over 1,000 yards last year, 16 touchdowns. I mean, guys, if you're unfamiliar with Brennan Thompson, just look at these numbers.
Oh, 4.26 40. Okay. That'll get him on an NFL roster. That'll get him picked on day 2 of the draft.
Yeah, I mean, this feels a little bit low for him. Speed kills in the NFL. You've seen how Xavier Worthies and John Rosses of the world can rise up draft boards with these crazy 40 times. And something tells me Brennan Thompson might be going a little bit before pick 100 this year.
Probably.
426 is pretty tantalizing. Just a couple more picks here in this mock draft.
Only got a couple more.
Here's a look at, some of the best guys that are still available.
Yeah, as far as guys that I was considering here, none of these guys really on my board. Deion Burks is a player the Bills have had a pre-draft visit with, top 30 visit, so he was a thought, but I didn't want to go in that direction.
Connor Liu, Bryce Lance, wide receiver out of North Dakota State, creeping up into here. Nussmeier all the way up to number 2. Markel Bell, Justin Jolly. Can't remember if that was Bills or Panthers where you had him in the mock. It might have been Panthers.
It was Burks for Panthers?
Justin Jolly.
Oh, Justin Jolly. I never had him. I never had him in a mock before.
Maybe it was somebody else. I could have sworn I saw him in a mock that was recent. 99's in. It's going to be Markel Bell.
Markel Bell, tackle out of Miami. That's a big boy. He's 6'9".
Wow. Unbelievable.
6'9", 350. Okay. I thought Kaden Prather was big.
I mean, and guys, if you look at these numbers right on your screen right now, being able to run a 5.36 40-yard dash
at 6'9",
at 6'9", 350 is unbelievable.
That's something I will never be able to do physically in my life. 5'3", 40. Is that right? Like that's pretty fast still for the average guy.
I mean, yeah. I think if you took 10 people off the street, maybe 2 of them could run a 5.36 40.
Jesus.
And he is 6'9", 350 pounds. It's unbelievable.
That's so funny.
One of the biggest humans in the world. A top 1%.
And the last pick of the draft is in. What's it going to be? Who's Mr. Irrelevant of the Chat Sports Live mock?
Mr. Irrelevant of the Chat Sports mock draft is
Bryce Boddicker.
Betcher.
Bryce Betcher. Okay, yeah, actually I've heard that before. Linebacker out of Oregon. He goes 100th overall to the Broncos.
Ortner loves this guy.
It's a fire, Big Cam.
Yeah, it is.
That thing's hot.
As that is going to do it for this Bills Chat Sports mock draft.
I'm not going to lie. I'm probably not going to say 100 names. We're going to go through the Bills picks. Bills took two guys, but didn't have any trades. Wish I could have made a trade down, but not a lot of guys were really willing to work with me on that. Jake Rodriguez, 26th overall to the Bills at a linebacker spot out of Texas Tech. He's a big-time playmaker, and I think he's an instant contributor on day one. Tyler Onyedem, I think, can contribute on day one, too. Maybe not a starter on the first set of downs for Buffalo, but going to be a rotational defensive tackle that doesn't have a lot of flaws in his game. So that's where I went for this one. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the live chat, down in the comment section if you're watching this after the live is over. Bills get 2 picks in this mock draft at 26 and 91. Thought I did a pretty solid job. Some guys were taken off the board for me before our picks came up, but that's just the way of the world when it comes to the NFL draft. So with that being said,
let's do this one more time.
We should just do it one more time.
To make the bosses happy.
Yeah. Before we wrap up out of here, if it's your last chance to get involved in this awesome sale that we got going on at chatsports.com/merch, you want to get some fresh gear to rep the brand today, you can at the link that I'm putting in the live chat right now. We got a ton of gear on sale, 20% off today only. Hoodies. We got t-shirts. We got hats. We got it all. And there's tons of sizes, different colors available. Also different team merch. So if you have a friend or a family member that is a fan of another team, you can check out some of that stuff. Maybe get them a gift. Chatsports.com/merch to get yours today. Links in the comment section and description of today's stream. Alrighty.
Nice.
With that being said, we are probably going to wrap up here on the breakdown today. Live mock is over. NFL draft 1 week away. Hopefully the Bills will trade down because no pick between 26 and 91 is just brutal heading into this one. But you can think of it like DJ Moore, who they use that second-round pick on to send to Chicago. Is what it is. We will be back with more Bills content shortly after this. Actually, we're going to upload a video very shortly on the channel. Not talking about this just yet, but we'll talk about this on tomorrow's video on the channel. So we'll see you guys all next time. And as always, thanks for joining us, and let's go Buffalo.